Big up, everybody. Welcome back to TJ Warren TV. Welcome back to another, well, actually, you know what? It's a crossover episode of the American Idiot Show with guests from the world-famous American Waffle Show, which will be coming to TJ Warren TV in the coming weeks. We are remounting that show on this channel. You heard it here first, and you will get most of the returning panelists there. Speaking of panelists, we have Vader's empty chair. Big up to Vader's empty chair. And then we got Mike Doss, the Liverpool legend himself. Mike Doss, how you doing, bro?
Big up, dude. Big up. Hope everyone's well. Congratulations on your ceremonial lifting of the trophy yesterday. Good job. Fair play. And yeah, you know, big up to everybody in London. Yeah, big up to everybody in London, and big up to everybody in America. So yeah, excited to chop it all up.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And Dal, three shows in 3 days, bro. Mr. Consistency. I'm more consistent than Kai Havertz.
True.
Yeah. So how you doing, man?
No, I'm doing good. Just sending Steve-O the link.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm doing good. Not as gassed as I was yesterday because I looked at the table and had a dose of reality. But yeah, no, I'm doing okay.
Enjoy it. You got like 72 hours of joy to go through, and right. you're on like hour 27. So
right. So I appreciate that, Mike, and I hope I'm joyful come Wednesday when we beat Newcastle 3-0. So,
you know, I was talking to Steve about this last night. Speak of the devil, I was talking to Steve-O about this last night, and he is not excited. Like he is afraid. So yeah, like if we go in there firing on all cylinders, I think we can win. But
I don't know, TJ. I don't know.
Dude, okay. Why I don't know. You guys are gonna I wish we had as easy a win that you guys have as Spurs.
You want to just jump right into the City game? Because I can tell you why I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, if you look, listen, obviously Arsenal's biggest issue, coming from every Arsenal fan, I'm no special person saying this, is consistency in front of net, right? Like that's what you all harp on all the time. You create chances, you got a good defense, XYZ. I think actually now technically you have the second best outright, and Liverpool now the first best with 21 versus 22. But regardless, looking at that City game, I think that the score line does it beyond flatters Arsenal. I think for the final 25 minutes, yes, you fully deserve to win that game 5-1. But before the third goal of the game, before Partey's deflection, right, the only two shots that Arsenal had were from direct errors off of City. Yes, you could say that the press forced those errors, but when you go back and you watch them, I mean, in a way, yeah, but also that's just individual catastrophe. I don't care how well you're pressing. No one should give away the ball that easily 3 times in one half. Then, of course, Phil Foden gives you the ball, Partey scores, and then from the point on, I give it to you. You deserved all 3 of those goals. Right. Nothing else was given. But
Mike, the counter to your argument, Mike, is go look at their record in November.
Arsenal or City?
You said, well, they accidentally passed it back. Bro, they've been passing it back and making mistakes since November 1st.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. But here's the thing. So the whole point is that a 5-1 versus City is immense, but that's removing the context of the situation, right? And that's removing the context. That's removing the context of Manchester City.
You explain it in a different way.
No, we all know they're bad.
What I watched, right, was Manchester City doing this. Okay, they have done the same thing over and over again and have gotten the same result over and over again, right? Yeah. The first half, I think Arsenal had 40% of the possession. They didn't do anything with the ball. They did absolutely nothing with the ball. They created no opportunities. The only 2 chances were the Kai Havertz miss and the Odegaard goal, right? Those were your only 2 shots.
Martinelli scored a goal that was called offsides. It would have been 2-0 within 20 minutes.
Yeah, but offside is offside.
2-0 is a whole different game.
I know, 100%. But I'm just talking about what happened, right? Offside goal. Going into the second half, Erling Haaland scores. right? Not to mention, at the end of the first half, City were starting to actually build. They were starting to get shots on net. They were starting to get involved.
Halftime came at a good time for Arsenal.
Halftime came in well for Arsenal. Yeah.
Then Erling scores. City are still in the game, still going, and just like a completely unforced error by Phil Foden to hand you the ball to a wide open net. Right, I'm sorry, to a wide open Partey. Fair play, great goal.
The ref was like, he's behind the ref, is what I saw.
Yeah, from that point on, I think the game is completely different. But it's just, to me, they do the same thing every single week, expecting a different result. And without those catastrophic individual errors, this is a completely different game. Like once it became 3-1, I'm like, okay.
Like those errors have been happening since November 1st.
Yeah,
which is fair.
The Feyenoord game.
Every team they've played have been capitalizing on their errors. So if it's you guys that make the errors, we win 5-1. If it's Newcastle comes Wednesday, make those errors, we win 5-1. I mean, you're
and we
correct. But I'm not going to let you skew the conversation of, City just had a bad day. They've had a horrible shit season. Right?
That
played our game. We took advantage of their errors like we kind of knew we would. Steve knows we would. Vader knew we would because we talked about it Friday, that it had to be mistake-free. They are not a mistake-free football team. And we capitalized on it very well.
Don C was saying before the game.
And I get what you're saying. I'm not trying to disagree with you completely.
No, which is fine.
It is like
I think you're misunderstanding my point.
Just all of a sudden happened. It's been happening since November 1st. Akanji should go. The whole back line needs to go. I mean,
whoa!
Hold on. Vader. Very quickly, I just have to clarify. The point wasn't to diminish a 5-1 victory, right? The point is that when I view this game 5-1, I don't do it as beating Manchester City. I view it as beating a team fighting for fourth place 5-1, which I think I think Liverpool could do that. I think Arsenal could do that. I think last year Manchester City did that. To me, that's the overarching point here. It's like, don't take this win and run to the top of the mountain, right? Because ultimately, City are completely out of form. Regardless of their history, they handed you 2 goals. And you could even say, listen, Smith Kelly's goal was unbelievable, but that defending in the box was fucking atrocious. And Ortega has to save that. Ortega has to save that.
I think what's his face? I think why do I always forget your fucking center back's name?
John Stones, Akanji.
Stones, sorry.
Stones had a terrible game.
Stones should have done a lot better than that. Stones and Akanji had one of the worst games I've ever seen him play. Like they were awful. But no, and I want to get, first of all, real quick before I give Vader the reins here, because I want to hear him defend what we just watched. What?
TJ, are you going to give me the Mike Dawes treatment?
No, I will shut up.
Are we carrying this over?
I will shut up. I will not interrupt you.
Oh, so you will give. Oh, nice. All right, cool.
I will not interrupt you. I will not interrupt you. Big up Marshall for the raid. Let me. Hey, I need Connor, while you're in the chat, I need a regular old backdrop without the freaking overlay behind it. So just while you're in there bigging yourself up, like I need something without these boxes here. Anyway, you're gonna be. I'm gonna throw you back out on the street. I swear. I will go ahead and just use which one works? Oh, they all suck. It's all right. We'll just use this one for now.
Wow.
No, well, no, they're all meant for a certain amount of people. And we're gonna have like we're gonna have like 6 guests on here. So we're switching it up. Actually, 7 guests because RSM is here too. Big up.
Hey, what up?
Big up, guys. Yeah, no, this is, by the way, guys, this is American Waffle, American Idiot crossover. People are in the chat asking, American Waffle will be moving to TJ Warren TV. Staffy decided that
the takeover has happened, people.
TJ it was deadline day of the window. The permanent transfer happened.
Final minutes.
The final transfer was American Waffle to TJ Warren TV.
There were certain sanctions.
TJ has to come over to Jersey to do the medicals, guys. Yeah, TJ has to come over to Jersey to do the medicals. Had to make sure everything was good.
A certain owner was forced to sell a portion of his share within a club.
There you go.
Anyway, before anybody goes out being like, oh, there's beef between the American Wealth guys and Stuffy, there is no beef.
There is.
Okay,
He said,
not
okay.
between
There's
me and him.
Waffle.
What?
I got nothing.
I can't wait to see Staffy. I can't wait to see that guy.
Anyway,
Mm.
there's no
We'll deal
beef.
with that at another
Staffy just no longer wanted to do the show. He offered me to take it over, and I am going to take it over. So
Right.
yes, Mina, there will be a waffle cell eventually, just not today. I'm redoing the branding, and by we I mean I'm paying Connor to do it. And then we'll get that going. RSM. That being said, I still need the jail.
Oh, you want me to say? Yeah, I can send it to you. Yeah,
I need the jail. I need the jail thing. But
Yeah.
everything else, we're
Yeah.
set.
You also
on.
need to
So,
go to jail, TJ.
why?
Ooh, yeah, that'd be nice. That'd be nice.
Because damn, you don't have to back my point like that.
All right, I won't agree with you.
He's like, yeah, that'd be nice.
Not-
That'd be nice. I just said you need to go to jail.
Yeah, tell us how you really feel, Vader. Dang.
I'm not going to agree with Marshall
God
anymore.
dang.
The rest of the show.
No, but big up
No,
for
you need to
the
go to
raid,
jail
Marshall. By the
because
way, how you doing,
they're-
man? You good?
I'm feeling better now that my team actually won and capitalized on the loss of Man City here. Thank you, TJ. You did me a favor there. I can't believe I'm actually
And wait,
saying that.
and wait, don't forget and Newcastle. Don't forget Steve.
Yeah, you can catch that too.
Appreciate
you can catch
that as
those
well,
strays
yeah.
too, Steve. Been a while.
It's tough
Never
for
thought
me.
I'd have to
Bring it up,
say
bring
you
it
can
up.
catch those strays too.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm feeling. Me and RSM are feeling a little better now.
Okay.
It
Well,
was
that's
a
good.
Really patchy run of form in recent games.
Marshall talking for RSM. That's funny.
We're talking about league leaders here, though. So let's pipe
don't think
down.
RSM
is
a
happy
full-time
to know.
champion.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, I know we both may be Hispanic, Vader, but come on, man.
I'm just saying. He said I'm feeling
Vader's
a lot
Hispanic?
better myself and RSM.
Oh no, I know you mean.
All right,
that.
freaking RSM, the victim over there. Jesus Christ. Or something? My lord, man.
I will say though, in terms of victors, right? The winner of the January transfer window has to go to Vader.
Yes.
We're not
Yeah.
talking transfers just yet. Let's not
Yeah,
talk
we're not-
transfers.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
We're putting. Hold on.
That's
We're
Villa.
putting Vader on the stand right now, and we're gonna give him a
Talking
shot
about
Villa's a
game.
good shout too. Or
Talking about the game.
to defend
Wow, that's
himself.
a good shout though.
Yeah.
Vader, what do you have to say for yourself?
Yeah, Vader, hold that.
I hope.
Hold 5 of that.
Oh, my goodness. See, I already know. Now that we got Marshall here, I'm going to get interrupted. But hopefully, I can get the
Hell yeah, you are.
Trump like Mike Dawes treatment where I can speak uninterrupted, please.
If you had scored one more goal, maybe we would have let you speak uninterrupted.
Wait, hold on. This is RSM. That's a lie because Phil Foden did score a goal for Arsenal. So
No,
No, I think.
He
Yeah,
assisted-
no,
he
they
assisted
forgot to
you,
add 2
bro.
assists. They forgot to add 2 assists.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he assisted Partey's goal really well.
Yeah.
Really great assist.
No, Vader, you wanted to talk about it. Remember, you told me, "Oh, when can we talk? We could talk. We could talk."
Oh, now you want to talk about
Yeah, about Foden. Yeah.
Now you
We can
wanna talk about Foden. Great. This guy went missing.
I
when was
remember
ready to
that.
Talk about it now that he's here. No, listen. The game was a stressful one because I had very, very narrow hopes of keeping within arm's reach of Liverpool. Very narrow. When we drew to Brentford, I was like, damn it, points dropped. Now that we lose to Arsenal, it's pretty much game over. Now I'm looking over my shoulder. I'm looking at guys like RSM and Marshall and Steve over here. I'm looking at a top 4 battle where I'm just, all right, let me just try to keep pace and stay close, as opposed to maybe looking beyond and looking at this league, because I still have my questions for Slot and what Liverpool can do. But I'm going to credit to Arsenal. They absolutely were amazing. And I'm not going to do the whole trolling thing. I'm not going to have RSM put up the gaslighting logo. I'm going to put all that aside. All right. Let me not
Yet
talk
to be
about
seen. Yet to be
Arteta.
seen.
Let me
Oh,
not
you
talk
mean play
about
the hits?
Arteta.
You mean play the hits, Vader?
Play the hits.
Play the hit. No, I'm just gonna say this. Rather than me compliment Arteta, because you guys think I gaslight, rather than me talk about the ownership and them trusting in this manager, I'm gonna put that all aside, because that's gonna trigger you guys. For those of you that are Arteta in, Arteta out, he did have a masterclass today. All right, regardless of whether you want to talk about the pupil or the student or the Padawan, he was that guy.
Thanks, Connor.
He was that guy yesterday, and I missed my players playing up to the moment. I think what's been so evident in past games is that there was no question whether my players were going to play up for the moment. There's no question that I was going to get impact from KDB. No question that I was going to get impact from a Holland, or even that Arteta is hilarious, or even look to get surprising results from some players that you weren't expecting. Now, this masterclass, I have to emphasize, knew that we could be pressed. Because when we suffered results against a Bournemouth, when we suffered results against PSG, even when it came down to us losing the Champions League with regards to Sporting, if you press us, even Liverpool, if you press us, we're vulnerable.
Aston Villa.
Aston Villa as well. And if you're going to press us for 90 minutes, you're going to get a result like Brentford did to be able to close out that game and get a draw. We have been so inconsistent and unable to keep up with the races because we have aged out. That's not even a cop out, but it is a realization that was kind of maybe overlooked or dismissed at the start of the season. It is evident now. And I honestly believe, no shot, please don't get triggered, Mike. But I also believe that when you're trying to win title after title, and when you've been able to do it for a third or fourth, it is taxing. It's almost like dog years in terms of I think what it does to a player. So yes, we've had Bernardo Silva, we've had KDB here for 7-8 years, but I think it's a concentrated, intense one. And the club's learning this. I think Liverpool kind of realized this too, because they did like a midfield revamp last season. They did a attacking kind of revamp 2 seasons ago. They've been doing this. It's now our turn, and we are late, quote unquote, late to it because we're vulnerable. But Arteta knew this, and he pressed us so intelligently, especially because I didn't have the best keeper. Yes, Mike, I didn't have the best keeper in net yesterday. You see the difference between an Ederson and an Ortega, because what did Arteta do? Arteta said, press everybody but him. Let's force him to actually spray a pass. Let's force him to actually dink it over top. And he kicked, I counted 3 or 4 out of bounds. I counted 5 or 6, like not even direct to the player, where Haaland didn't even have a chance to run onto it. So that's the difference. I think Arteta knew where to force the issue. And when we talk about starting a game poorly, if you're gonna RSM, and he was, I could only imagine that he was smiling ear to ear. Marshall were smiling ear to ear when we scored or when we surrendered the goal so early versus their game. That's what you want, right? You want to get that early goal, especially against a City that haven't been that clinical or that good. And if you're going to do that against an Arsenal team who are already good defensively, it's a long day. So I was proud of my players, though, in terms of how we fought back for the tie. Don't get me wrong, because I don't think you guys really put up much for me to be worried about until after we tied it up. Because Haaland worked hard for that goal. And listen.
Some great turn by Savinho, too, by the way. Great turn.
Savinho's amazing. And this is what I was kind of, I don't want to get all over the place, but this is what had me stressing and growing some more platinums on this beard when Mateus Nunes was getting so much possession on that right, but not releasing a damn thing. He didn't release not one cross, not one. And we got Haaland in the middle. Just give that man a chance, right? So Savinho does it, and he's rewarded with an assist because Haaland goes up and hey, he dunked on Saliba to get that goal. He elevated and got it. But then what do we do 2 minutes later?
Give away the ball. You hand it to him in an Easter basket. You say, "Hey, happy Easter." Here's a
2 minutes. 2 minutes after fighting so hard to tie the game, Foden. And when we talk about unforced error, I got to disagree with Mike. It was a forced error. Foden forced that pass. He didn't have to go that far across. He didn't have to make it so complicated. He forced to try to get that hero pass off. It got intercepted by Partey. And then I'm standing up almost like this close to the TV, and I'm begging Stone, step forward. Close in. Because what do? When you close in on a player, you make the net look a lot smaller. And he just gave him time to set up. And he put a great goal past Ortega, and then that was it. Honestly, that was it, because it was going to require another 30 or 40 minutes to fight in and get an equalizer. And as we are doing that, you guys were able to get the third, get the fourth, and get the fifth. And the fourth and the fifth, let me say this: that performance was not a 5-1. That's why I'm so annoyed now, because I didn't feel like you guys play to a 5-1 victory.
The end of that. I disagree. The end of the match, we deserved it. Like
no,
we
but this
absolutely
is
crushed
what
you
I'm
at
getting
the
at.
match.
The final
Like-
20 minutes. The final 20 minutes. This is where I didn't see fight in my club. This is where I saw you guys running through us, and let me take this back. Maybe it's a little bit of fight. Maybe it's a lack of fight, or it's also the legs. I'm being reminded that I don't have the legs in the midfield because you guys just ran through it. And I let me correct myself because I did see fight. Bernardo Silva fights to the very last whistle. Holland fights to the very last whistle. I need more of that amongst my entire team. And you guys, like I said, if you're going to press us, if you're going to remain diligent, you're going to get results late. And you did that. 5-1, embarrassing. Another London club with 4 goals up on us. And when I point this out, and this is where Mike was actually making a lot of sense. When you have some of the celebration police trying to talk to you Arsenal fans, you didn't beat treble form City. Right? You didn't beat me in my Super Saiyan.
Here comes the gas.
No, I'm not gassing.
It was going to come.
It is because you're saying, but you didn't
He
do
did
this.
to send the
You
bill.
didn't help your injury problem. Like if we had injury problems and you had your full team and you smacked us 5-1, would that be expected?
Hang on. Hold on.
No,
Vader.
Mike, can I please have the Mike Goss treatment, please?
I was going to
Bro,
back you up,
you
Vader.
literally spoke
Vader,
for like 5 minutes
All
uninterrupted.
right. So now you can
Vader,
interrupt.
time's
Hold
up.
on. I'm gonna back up Vader here. Here's the analogy I'm gonna give you. Right? Everyone here, I'm assuming, has watched boxing or has watched UFC. Right? Like you guys have seen fighters. Right?
Mhm.
What's more impressive, beating prime 1990 Mike Tyson or Jake Paul beating Mike Tyson?
Good
It's
point.
not literally that simple.
It's not.
Great point.
We're
That's a great
talking
point.
about Premier
Great
League
point.
football here.
Jake Paul.
Who,
I know
No,
what
I'm
you're
just
trying to go
using
I
an
understand.
example.
No.
Just
Don't
using
get me wrong.
an example.
I don't think
I
RSM
understand what you're saying.
Little bit extreme.
I understand what you're
I know
saying
what
here.
you're
Let me
saying.
let me
extreme.
just say this. Let me say something real quick. No, like I understand what you're saying, Vader. I understand what you're saying, Nos. But if we when I say, I can't have that excuse when you guys pammed us at the Emirates 3 years ago when Rob Holding was our center back. You guys are playing. You guys are boxing against Skinny Pete. At that point, it doesn't matter who it is.
No. Here's no. This is what you guys are missing. I'm not talking about players that weren't available. I'm not talking about injuries. I'm talking about being in that prime.
Scott, worry about your own dead club. Sorry,
take it easy on my Canadians. The thing is, when it comes down to when it comes down to this game, you didn't beat. I'm just saying you didn't beat yellow glowing Super Saiyan form City. We've been slapped up all season long. Spurs put 4 on us in our house. So again, the win is impressive because you've been able to not suffer a loss to City for what, 4 games now? Is it more than that? 5?
Pretty embarrassing.
It's 5.
Beating you at home 2 years in a row. I mean, it's still impressive. Like this isn't to denote it. It's just like, again, don't take this win and run to the top of the mountain and say that you climbed Mount Everest because you haven't. You're at base camp.
Hold on. Now let me make a clarification. It's not about the win. It's the way we played. If we continue to play like that,
yes,
I will go.
I agree to that.
Any squad in Europe, I swear to God. If we play that way, the
last 25 minutes, I agree.
In the last 25, 30 minutes, if we play that way, I could put us up against, Sporting Lisbon, beat them. We play that way against Newcastle.
Sporting Lisbon that knocked you out of Europa.
That's a big if, though.
Big if. 5 on a month ago. So,
we had Eddie and Kedia leading the line against
now my counter to that.
If we come to St. James Park and do what we did in the second half against City, Steve-O knows it's going to be a long fucking day up north.
Steve-O.
Okay, yes. All of this. Listen, all of this may be true.
It's the team we had, and the way Mikel, like Vader said eloquently, the way he set it up was a masterclass. And yes, there was individual errors, like you said, Mike, but those individual errors, again, have been happening since November 1st.
Yes. So, but my counter to you would be, first off, Arsenal have the best record against the top 6 out of everyone over the last 3 years, right? No one here is trying to argue that you can't beat good teams, because you can and you do, and you don't lose to them. The issue is that Fulham isn't going to play you like that. Crystal Palace isn't going to play you like that. Brentford isn't going to play you like that. You're not going to give Brentford 70% of the ball because they'll just kick it right back to you. They'll say, "No, I don't want this. This ball's gross. This ball is COVID. Take it. It's not mine." Right? That's the issue with Arsenal. Like, I don't expect you guys to drop points to Manchester City or a Tottenham or a Chelsea. I expect you to drop points to Southampton. I expect you to drop points to Fulham. I expect you to drop points in games where you have to be the one who's setting the tone, where you're having 70% of the possession. And that's why season over season, you lose leagues to teams like West Ham.
Right.
You draw games like that because, again, your record among the top 6 is exceptional. It's the best.
Right, because if we do lose to Newcastle, what does the Man City win mean in the end? I totally get that. Right, we do screw the pooch when it comes to Ipswich. We only beat them 1-0. Right, we do have issues with Bournemouth where we lost 2-0.
Luton,
Aston Villa.
But what I'm saying is every time that's happened, we've come back. And we've come back stronger and better, even though we've missed Odegaard, even though we're missing our best player, essentially. I mean, I never we sat here with Vader. Was it Saturday? And yep. I said, we don't stand much of a chance. We don't have an outlet because there's really no Saka. Martinelli's been slammed left and right every day since the season started. So I was never expecting a 5-1. I was expecting a 3-1 City win. Because what you're saying, I know. I identify with that as well. Like I just gave you the examples, Ipswich, etc. If we don't play and execute as well as we did against City, we can force those errors with Newcastle. We did force those errors against like Sporting, West Ham, Chelsea. We did, against you guys last season. So I just don't want to. Again, I don't think you're trying to turn the argument to like, oh, it was just a bad City team.
No. It's just the point.
That, and I get what.
And also, Mike Tyson.
We are our own worst enemies, and I'm sure, believe that. Just like TJ does, and many of the Arsenal fans in the chat, we shoot ourselves in the foot, right?
Yeah.
So that's why a lot of us, who are so-called the top gooners, it's a great win. We're gonna, be excited come Wednesday afternoon. It's all business.
Big game.
But I just want to, I want to see other teams. If they put 5 on City at home at the Etihad, then hey, maybe what we did was just not really a fluke,
Yeah, big up everybody that came over. Yeah,
I
big up everybody that came over from Jacob's raid. United Spurs of America. You guys are absolutely in the mud. And Jin for life. And Jin for life.
Yeah.
Daniel Levy in for
and
life.
Listen, and also shout out Luca, man. Shout out Luca. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, happy Tell Day, right? Happy Tell Day.
Wow.
Happy Tell Day.
That's the only trophy that they're getting. They're getting Tell on loan. That's the trophy.
We need to stop. By the way, we need to stop the epidemic of players lying, because why is Tell going to Spurs and be like, I'm so excited to win trophies? Stop lying, bro. No, you're not. You're not going there to win trophies. John Duran, John Duran coming on national television in South America talking about, I'm not motivated by money. I watched the Saudi Pro League when I was a kid. No, you didn't. No, you did not. Why are we lying? Why are we lying?
RSM,
why are we lying?
For $400,000 a week, you'll say whatever the fuck
Esteval's not even getting paid $400,000 a week. He's like, yeah, Sir Bobby Charlton. But bro, they're lying for the love of the game. It's like LeBron reading the first page of every book every time you see him reading a book. Why are we lying?
Yeah,
we know you're not reading it.
Let's not do the whole moral superiority argument on someone who's making $400,000 a week. Because if I was making that much money, I wouldn't give a shit what anyone.
I'm not doing no more. I'm just saying. I think it's funny. You lying in our. You're playing in my face. That's my issue.
I'll lie to your face for that much money. I'll lie to your face straight to your face for that much money.
$400,000 a week, tax free, and your own house and cars. I mean, the weekly salary is like just.
I'll tell you, I'm Saudi for $400,000. I will get Saudi citizenship. I will get a UAE passport. I will denote my citizenship in America, and I will live there forever. It's that simple.
Nobody knows. Nobody is a whore for money without moral superiority. with moral superiority like Jordan Henderson. Jordan Henderson is a prime example. I'm going to go over there and I'm going to spread awareness. It's just like, no, you're not. You're going over there to collect a paycheck. Then you got uncomfortable and came back. Go fuck yourself. Like everybody that goes to the Saudi leagues and says, oh no, I believe in human rights. You're a fucking liar. You're going over there for money.
Oh my goodness, what is happening here, Mike? You're just going to sit here and have them talk about your best Prem captain ever.
Well,
fuck Jordan Henderson.
Jordan doesn't play for Liverpool anymore. I have no.
Yeah, he plays for Ajax. He's washed. He fucking sucks. Well, he doesn't suck. He's all right, but still, like.
Oh,
He's,
my
he's
God.
also
He's,
one
al-
of the
he's,
biggest
al- he's,
hypocrites
al-
ever.
he's also
Henderson
talking
is
about Jordan
Sunderland.
Henderson, the person. Like, if you're a Liverpool player, I support you, and the second you take that shirt off, you're just another dude. Like, it's that simple. Unless your name is
Unless
Steven
you're
Gerrard
Unless
you're
or Mohamed
Steven
Salah.
Gerrard, I was about to
Unless
say
your
that.
unless your name is Steven Gerrard
Just
or
another
Mohamed
dude if you take
Salah,
your shirt off.
I don't care. I don't
Wow.
care. Or Virgil,
Yeah,
Steven,
or
and Mo
Allison.
are the exception.
Or Allison or Trent. Yeah.
Or
No,
Mohamed
Trent
Salah.
no. Trent no.
Trent,
Allison,
no?
yes.
Remember Vladimir
No.
Spicer? Do you
Trent-
remember
Trent,
Vladimir
no.
Spicer? You have a
These
Vladimir
guys already
Spicer
giving up
kit,
on
right?
Yeah, he's
No,
like
I
the
don't.
Chinese.
I don't. But I wish I had a Fernando Torres kit.
Yeah.
What about Morientes kit?
No.
Raheem
Josh
Sterling.
Serrano, Xabi Alonso. I don't know.
Raheem Sterling.
What about Dirk?
You consider Sterling a city legend?
Out is amazing. Dirk
saying,
Kuyt's awesome. He
Sterling-
also went to
Sterling was very good for Liverpool.
where'd he go? Feyenoord after that.
Yeah,
and lit it up in the Dutch league.
No, but I'm
Good
asking
question.
you, Vader. I'm asking you, Vader. You consider Sterling a city legend?
He's not a city legend. He's a city hero.
He's a
Whole
city.
hero.
He's a
He's
city.
a- he's a
He was
top
also
blue.
in the photo. He's in the
He's a
class
top
photo.
Top baby blue. Top baby
He
He
blue.
was the guy. He was the
Top
guy
blue.
in the group. He was the guy in the group project that showed up on the last day and just got the A.
No, he just wrote his name on the
No.
assignment. That's it. He showed
wrote
up, wrote
his
his
name
name on
down.
the assignment.
Copy of a KDB.
Sterling was
Hmm.
instrumental for us winning one of our seasons. He
Yeah.
pretty much carried us. That season where it was, I think he was third to Messi in CR7.
He was
in terms of
instrumental
goals
in you
and
guys not winning
Mm.
Champions League sooner. I'll tell you that too.
winning
Yeah,
sooner.
penalties.
Yeah.
I remember what was the miss he had against Lyon, 2020.
that was a bad
right?
miss.
Yeah, I'll never forget that. That's Sterling.
A city mentionable. Sapor is right on here. A city mentionable. Not even honorary, just a city
No.
mentionable.
Yeah.
A
He's not
city-
even a mentionable for Arsenal.
I'm in this guy. We want to send him back now. The biggest
No,
thing.
okay, yeah,
The
you have
biggest
to
thing that
sign
we could have
him.
done. The
Nah,
best
there's
thing that
something
we
in
could
that
have done
London
is
water,
addition
man.
by subtraction. We're sending Jorginho out. We're already planning on sending
Ungrateful.
Party out, which would be a threat. But addition by subtraction. Send Sterling back to Chelsea for the love of God. This guy
Wow.
is awful.
Yeah.
Nah,
The only
don't do that.
thing that he did
You would
yesterday.
you would kick a man out when his son is in your academy?
Yes, I would. 100%. It's a business.
Wow.
Damn, Sterling's son's in the academy.
Yes.
Yes.
Wow.
That's how everybody found out
He's
he was
really
going to
trying to
Arsenal like
commit.
3 days before because he was there with his kid.
Because he puts on a kid.
Oh,
doesn't mean
Hugo,
he's
you're
not.
doing too much now. You're doing too much now.
Yeah, Hugo, I don't agree with this. I don't agree with this.
No,
Oh my god.
But
That's
that's all
actually
right. That's
crazy.
all right. No, and by the way, guys, we have 69 nice people in here. Smash the likes, subscribe
Nice.
to the channel. I think I'm like 4 subs off of 1.5k. So make it happen. Don't be a freeloader. Steve-O, let's come to you a little bit here, my guy. How are you feeling
Hey,
going
yo.
into Wednesday?
What do you mean by that?
Bro, we got schooled by Fulham in that second half on Saturday, 2-1. Bro, they have some impressive results this year, and I saw a couple.
No, they're a good team, dude.
They're a
They
good
are
team.
good. They are good, and they got a good manager.
Great
I like
manager.
freaking Lukic, and Traore's doing decent there. Iwobi as well. Iwobi was a constant threat in that game. And then freaking Jimenez as well. Jimenez had a very good game. And then off the bench, freaking what's the Brazilian striker's name? Oh my god. Muniz.
Muniz?
Rodrigo Muniz. Yeah, he
Mhm.
scored as well. But yeah, Fulham, they just second half. Newcastle just had this tendency of in the first half at home will play really, really, really well, create chances, and then like it goes to halftime at the wrong time for us. Second half, the manager makes adjustments, and then we lose 2-1 or some bullshit. Or we drop points. That's happened a few times. It happened versus Milan last year in the champs. It happened last year against Liverpool. It happened last year against we had another crap result at home. I forget for who it was for, but yeah, this year Brighton did it. Like we've had a few of these games, so I'm worried about Wednesday. Because Fulham can do exactly what, Arsenal can do exactly what Fulham did on Sunday. But I'm just curious what both teams' approaches are gonna be. To be honest, because I think we should go out and try to score the first goal. Like start at home. The energy's gonna be there. We need to go out and get the first goal. That's what I want our approach to be. I don't want to be sitting back Yeah, happy Luca Day, Jacob.
Ha ha ha! Jacob can hold that. I didn't even. I felt so bad for him. I didn't actually bring that up this morning.
Like
Bro,
I
I
felt
was-
you feel bad, but then it's like at some point you have to live with like Cowboys, Mavs, Spurs. Like you're doing it to yourself.
He has
You
the
know what
bro.
I'm saying?
He has
Like
the he has the Texas Rangers. He's set. He's fine. He's fine.
Dallas
they won a
Stars?
World
They didn't
Series.
even. They didn't
Dallas
even. What do you mean?
Stars.
They didn't even make the
Dallas.
playoffs this year.
Yeah,
Stars.
when was
Yeah, but they
last
won the World
time
Series 2 years ago.
Yeah,
Oh,
congratulations.
okay,
It's a new.
never
It's a new year.
But no, and back on Newcastle, the approach that I want to see us go in the game on Wednesday, I want us to approach the game like on the front foot from minute one. I don't want Arsenal to have that approach on minute one because they might score. Because not many teams come to St. James, with the exception being Bournemouth, and they scored us 4-1. Bournemouth from minute one of that game went at us, and they got an early goal.
Yeah, Bournemouth
And it
slapping
kind
up
of
everyone,
it
dude.
set the tone for the rest of the game because they were brilliant that day.
Who
Like,
are your injuries? Sorry.
Apparently, Joe Ellington's injured.
Yeah, that was
Oh,
damn.
that's a big advantage for us because he always comes out and plays his best
And
game.
I'm worried that Eddie's gonna start fucking Longstaff because he works hard but does a whole lot of fucking nothing, man. He's rubbish. I need Miley to start. I need Miley. It needs to be a midfield through Miley, Bruno Guimaraes, and Sandro Tonali. That's what it needs to be. You need to have technical security because you're gonna be pressing us. So we need to be press resistant. And
Yep.
the physicality side of things, Tonali and Bruno G can handle that. Miley needs to have those through balls on deck because we can hit in transition. So yeah, I'm worried about the game. I am worried about the game, but I think it's who scores first goes through. I think if Arsenal scores first, they'll have their away fans. They'll get into it, and our crowd's gonna get fucking nervous.
Yeah.
Fucking nervous if we go 1-0 down and it's only 2-1 on aggregate. But if we go up 3-zip, we could lose 2-1 and still be fine. So that's what it is. I feel like we definitely gotta start on the front foot. We have to. And maybe that was on Saturday. Maybe that was the problem that in the second half the players just took their eye off the ball. But yeah, I worry about the in-game management kind of thing from Eddie Howe personally. But Arteta is prone to make some mistakes as well with management.
Yeah. I mean, he just knocked it out. He just I don't trust this manager to not throw Party back at right back. I really don't because he thinks he's gonna need to. He thinks he needs to win.
5-1 has not given you more trust than Arteta.
Bro, the way this guy is so inconsistent with his starting 11s, how could you? Like that's what. And look, at the end of the day, I concede that he managed the shit out of that game. He was. I will give him his flowers for that. But until I see some consistent players playing consistent, dude, it gets boring to just beat the Arteta out drum all the time. People know I'm Arteta out. It's fine. It's more just consistency for me and playing players in their best positions. Urian Timber is our best right back. Start him. Put Thomas Partey as our 6. He is our best 6. Start him.
Yeah.
Start him.
He's going to use
Play
the
Declan Rice.
blueprint
Play
from
Declan Rice
Wednesday.
as a box-to-box midfielder, even though I think he's more of a holding midfielder. Play him there. He's confident there. Like the starting 11, in my opinion, the only question that you have is whether you switch out Martinelli or Ethan Nwaneri on the right. Other than that, it writes itself, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, Dal.
Well, I was just going to say the blueprint was written on Sunday against City.
Yeah,
If we can,
true.
If we play that same starting lineup, and we have the motivational win behind us now, obviously, and we've talked about that again on Saturday with Vader. That going into Wednesday, Steve-O should be shitting himself a little bit, and he's absolutely right. If we go 1-0 up, that changes the complexion of the tie completely.
Yeah.
I just think we will force those mistakes like we did against City. There will if we play that game. I'm sorry, Steve-O, it's going to be a long day. I'm not saying 5, but I think we could 3-3, maybe late time 4-3 winner. I don't know. We could go to pens too, right?
I think it's going to pens.
I think
Go ahead, Marshall.
I think Dal and TJ have way too much confidence than they should going into this game. I'll be so honest with you.
Whoa. Hey, Casual
Whoa.
FC, they just got a huge victory. against the four-peat winners. They
Yeah, that you
deserve-
gave them. That you gave them
You guys are
on a
also-
silver
Vader,
platter.
I have a question. How many goals do Arsenal have lately in the past couple years going to Newcastle away?
Not many.
Zero. We haven't scored. We haven't scored.
Zero.
Ed. We haven't scored at St.
Like you
James Park
forget you're going to
anymore.
St. James's
Yeah,
Park.
Thank you. That's my point. If it was going to Arsenal with this scoreline, I'm like, okay.
We got to
You
get the
can have
monkey
the-
off our back at some point. Sorry, go ahead.
Hey, yo.
Record. We also have the best away record in Europe, I believe. One of the best
Tell
away
'em,
records in
tell
all
'em.
of Europe.
Wait,
I-
your away
we
record's
lost
better. Your away record's
3 or 4.
better.
One
better
of
than
the best
Liverpool?
in Europe.
Easy.
One of the
He said
best.
one of the
Mike,
best. He said one of the
let-
best. One of the best.
Forest have a better away
We've
record.
lost, I think,
We
3 or 4
haven't.
games.
We've lost all of our games that we've lost on the road. We
Mhm.
haven't lost at home in the Prem this season.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's only like 3.
Yeah, we've
Mm.
lost
Yeah.
3.
But
We've
like-
lost 3 away games.
Obviously, I'm not.
That we
I don't want
should
to
do.
take.
You lost.
I don't.
Take it easy.
I don't want to take away from the fact that you guys completely clapped up,
don't
City,
wanna
but at the
take away,
same
but
time,
Completely decimated.
but you completely decimated, absolutely shambolic, historic defeat
Yeah.
to
Resurrected.
City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reincarnated.
You guys were able to
humbled Man City. But like at the
They
same
played
time,
more
you
like
also
the Final
gotta.
11 than you guys,
But at the same time, even Vader will tell you, you gotta also put context to it. Foden opened up that whole entire game by making that mistake.
Here's right the context casually. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but the context.
Or not even Foden. I'm sorry, Ake.
A kanji, by the way. It was a kanji.
Akanji.
You got it wrong.
Ake Akanji, sorry.
Respect out. Respect
Yeah,
out.
Casually, that I was trying to make to Mike too is that they've all been bad since November, so it's not like it's just this one game off that they had
but-
these errors, and we were there to capitalize on it. If we're
That's
not
fine,
there to
but-
capitalize on it, right?
but
then,
if-
then it's not in much of an
If you
error
take
there.
away Dal, if you take away the errors from the game, how confident are you that you're gonna create the chances to score and win in that
I'm
game?
pretty confident over what I saw Sunday. Because not
Okay,
all of them
but-
were just these like errors, right? I mean, I know there's a deflection.
No, obviously Lewis Skelly and
You have to be in the position to score the goals. You have to be in the positions to press. Odegaard was given direction to Havertz. He was given directions to the other midfielders, telling Rice to back in, back
But-
up, back left, helping him guard area when he came on. I mean, it just was an overall.
I don't think
lacking,
you
even
can
if
draw
they weren't that
correlation
bad.
though. I don't think that you can draw. There's not a single correlation that I can draw between the City game and the upcoming Newcastle game, other than Kai Havertz needs to finish more than one
Mhm.
opportunity when put in front of goal. Newcastle are not going to have 70% possession in this game. It's just not
Yeah.
going to happen. Look at the way that they played Liverpool, and honestly, they're probably going to play a very similar style. Give them the ball, press when we need to. We're not going to press Kelleher because there's just no need. We'll let Kelleher spray it, right? You'll concede possession in the middle of the park, and then we're just going to hit Anthony Gordon or Isak on the break, right?
Yeah.
Do you have a great defense? Yes. Do Liverpool have a great defense? Yes.
Yeah.
Where do you struggle the most consistently? When you have
Attacking.
when you need to have the ball. Arsenal are their least threatening when they have the ball for 5 straight minutes, because I know what they're going to do every single time, especially without Saka. So to me, I understand the
Okay.
performance
If you want to give us the
unbelievable.
ball, all the more power to you.
Yes, but I think that's where you are most vulnerable, because
Okay.
you're
Not
not.
vulnerable when we're on the offense, though. And Odegaard's got 5 yards of space. He's gonna annihilate that back line.
Because you've had that this season. You've had
And
the
we've-
ball this season.
And we've
And-
won
and-
games, right? We're second place
So-
because we're winning.
So has everybody. The only point I'm trying to make here is that I don't think that there's a correlation between the City performance and this Newcastle game, because I think that they're 2 completely different games in 2 completely different directions.
I disagree. There's a lot to
Disagree,
be said. There's a lot to be said about confidence and momentum,
Right.
and we finally have the confidence that I think we've been lacking in these cup
Bro,
competitions.
we've lost our
Yeah.
past 2 home games to Bournemouth and Fulham.
Like,
Those
yeah,
are
and-
formidable
and-
sides.
and, like,
But
we're on the
Steve,
we're on
at
the
the same-
front foot.
And
Yeah.
Arsenal aren't. Like you
Ma-
say, Bournemouth and Fulham are attacking teams, and Arsenal isn't. I mean,
I don't know,
like
Jenny.
Steve
How
said,
are you?
If it's
No,
2-1, it's a long day. Go ahead,
Yeah,
man.
what I was going to say, if I can, is
Go
that
ahead.
Bournemouth and Fulham, thank you, do press similar to what Arsenal would do. But the thing is, what's the difference between the first leg, right? What was missing in the first leg for why you guys are a goal down to Newcastle? And I know that Steve mentioned Sorry, 2 down. And I know that Steve mentioned that Joe Linton might be missing, but what's the difference from the first tie? Who do you now have Arsenal? Why you have that confidence? Or is it strictly because of the result versus City? And then again, you're going to a grounds where you haven't had, like the stat guys reminded us, where you guys haven't been able to score. So is it just a confidence after playing City why you think you're going to get that positive result? Or are players been returning to your club why you have this confidence?
Both. Go ahead, TJ.
Okay.
No, I'm just gonna say you can see the confidence in the way that we played that last 25 minutes. We absolutely crushed them. We took everything that was given to us in the first half, but in the second half we took it. And that's the kind of confidence. What?
Thank you. I was about to say that later.
To run better than City.
City also capitulated. City gave up.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, but you're also not considering, like Steve said, this is why Steve is sitting here with his chin in his palm, is because he sees that the form that Newcastle are on is not good, and the form that Arsenal are on in the last couple of games is very, very good.
Steve's doing the 2024.
He's not
The
doing
gimmick.
Bro, Newcastle do this every year. They're a top four. They're a top four
Finish a
club.
point, please. Can I finish a point?
Oh my God! Enough of this agenda, Vader. There's no.
Not an agenda. What? Let me say this. Steve is doing the 2024-2025 underdog. Let me play it. Let me be conservative. Let me kind of point out some of the issues that my club has going in. But trust me, let's talk of him. Let's talk about him off camera. He's confident that his club can get a result. He is. He's just doing that. He's doing this.
He's like, what are we talking about?
I really don't think he's. I
Shit himself, baby. Right there. What are you talking about?
This is killing me. He's like so lost.
Screaming from his bathroom.
All right, let me hear it.
Peter, I am a Newcastle fan. I have barely any Newcastle fan in 70 years has seen us win a trophy. 70.
Steve, at the same time, though.
Into finals 2 seasons in a row. Am I wrong?
Yeah, bro, I think we'll lose 2-1. I think we'll have enough to get on aggregate, but do I think it's going to be dicey? Yes. I don't think we win the game. I think we'll advance on that.
Because that's the other thing too, Arsenal fans. Like, you realize in order to win, you need to score 3 goals, and Isak needs to score 0.
We scored 8 goals.
2 would be penalties.
We scored 8 goals in our last 2 games.
Marshall,
3 to win it, but 2 to penalties.
Marshall. The problem is Isak hasn't scored the past 2 home games. Because Bassi and Anderson, are they better than Saliba and Gabriel? No. But they're very good. They did a great job. Calvin Bassey.
What if Havertz just misses in front of the goal though? Have we considered that option? I'm just saying. We literally saw it in the City game. Literally saw it in the City game.
Not in the City game.
Surprised the second place team is getting so much airtime.
No, but I'm saying we've seen this season, right? But that's the duality that I'm talking about. If you guys, if you guys only get a couple of chances, and the ones that you do land to Havertz, and he doesn't get in, if he's 1 in 6, and you only give him 5 chances, you know what I'm saying? Like,
look back when RSM. Look at the 4th goal he scored. Touch, boom, boom, far post.
That banger that Wanyeri scored too. I don't understand how people are underrating. Like, here's what I don't get is we finally start scoring. We finally start showing some chest like you guys encourage us to do all the time, even if you mean it tongue in cheek and you're gaslighting us like Vader does. We legitimately have momentum. We have scored 8 goals in our last 2 matches. Wanyeri is firing. Miles Lewis-Skelly is firing. Partey firing. Martinelli actually starting to find.
Declan Rice had a fantastic game. I ain't gonna lie.
Declan Rice was arguably one of our best. I think Partey played better. I think he played better, but still.
You want to know why I'm not gassing you up to the fucking moon? Because your last Premier League game, you won 1-0 over Wolves. Both teams had a red card, and the one before that,
that was a shambolic red card. That was a shambolic red card.
100%. I get that. But the game before that. The game before that, you drew to Villa. The game before that, you drew to Villa. Like a 5-1 is a 5-1, but you have to spread it over weeks. Like if you're going to talk about the last 3 weeks, you've got 4 points out of what? No, I'm sorry. You got 7 points out of 9. Like, okay, good for you. You got 2 wins and and a draw. But like,
But to add on to that,
Yeah, and Mike, Newcastle out of the past 9 games versus Bournemouth, Fulham, and Southampton, 3 out of 9.
but at the
2
same
of them
time, though,
are home
Steve, hold on.
losses.
I like
But at
what
the
you're
same
doing,
time,
Steve.
though,
I
like
like what you're
even
doing, Steve.
even Steve, even you can admit though, like Newcastle, when it comes to the Premier League, you guys aren't aiming to win it. You're aiming to get into top 4 into Europe, right?
Sure.
But when it comes to this cup, I think all eggs are in the basket for this one for Eddie Howe.
Yeah.
He wants to win a trophy. So I
Yeah.
think there's more for it for Newcastle than there's for Arsenal, who still have a chance in the Premier League.
You don't think Arteta wants?
We don't have a
trophy?
chance in the Premier League.
We're not winning.
can we get to that
We're not winning the
conversation,
Premier League.
please? Can we
No.
get to that
We got to
conversation,
wrap up
please?
this convo because this is
Oh,
a big
Wednesday's
game, Mike.
bigger than this Liverpool garbage we're
This
watching.
decides what you're playing in the final. Big man.
Garbage? Excuse me? Garbage? Pipe down from second place, okay?
Dang.
Points.
It's gonna be 9 points. The league is
No,
over.
I mean,
Like,
the same
all different
competition.
things,
We could
bro.
transition over to Spurs and Liverpool, obviously.
Yeah, no, we
Well,
can
we
absolutely
better.
talk about it.
Spurs.
Let's get into it, especially because we don't have a Spurs rep. Jacob said he might call in from his job. Jacob, if you're listening, you have the link, my bro, so you can call in and do whatever you need to do. But Mike Doss,
He's celebrating
start
Tell
with you.
Day.
Let's start with you, dude.
Cup competition or just in
Cup
general?
competition. I don't want to talk about the league with you. It's over. But what I do rate though is Mike Doss is one of the few Liverpool fans. I don't need the violence. I'm not crying.
It's
just
over.
the way it is, bro.
It's over. It's never been
it
so
is
over.
Listen,
No,
okay,
but
okay.
I rate what Mike Doss has to say on this topic because he actually talks with some chess, other than some of your other fans, larger personality.
Let's not
Donald
send indirect
Trump.
shots. Let's not send indirect shots.
From the
I'll
Liverpool fan base,
call him out. The Jordanian fraud, the Jordanian cigarette merchant. This guy has no
16 out of
confidence
10.
whatsoever, and then he comes out
okay.
and actively roots against us. Yeah, no, whatever. He's a fraud. Anyway,
Okay. So before, very, very, very quickly, because we were talking off stream and then we were going to go live, and I was trying to make a point to Vader.
What's up, Mike?
And so I'm just going to come back to that point real quick, and then I'll talk about Spurs. But if Liverpool win their game in hand against Everton, and you guys talk about momentum, Everton is where the collapse began last season. We have been historically poor there over the last 7 seasons. If you win there, you want to talk about momentum after beating a super informed Bournemouth. Then you go to Everton, beat the new manager bounce. Then you keep moving forward. That would be a 9-point difference with equal terms with 14 games left, which means that I could draw 4 games. You win those 4 games. I'm still a point ahead of you. Does anyone here think that Liverpool are going to drop points in over a third of their remaining games? That would be dropping points in 5 of 14. So statistically speaking, with my calculator as the calculator merchant, if we beat Everton away, to me, that's the nail in the coffin. I like right now. It needs one more hammer. Right, the nail is pretty much in there. I just got to finish it. I got to finish the job. If I win that game, I don't think anyone. I think this league is going to be wrapped up with 4 games to go. Personally, like my goal isn't even to just win the league. I want the guard of honor from Arsenal on the 3rd to final game week of the season. I want Mikel Arteta to have to stand there and clap my bald fucking Dutchman.
I feel like Vader
beating
doesn't
him in
like
his
it because
first
you're counting
season
him out.
with 0 new signings. Federico Chiesa does not count. He's played 5 games. We will beat you with 0 new signings. Now with Spurs.
Hopefully they'll get rid of our manager. We can bring in Zoggy.
Also, you want to know what's funny?
I said it in.
Chiesa might have only played 5 games, but in those 5 games, he's actually been a fucking dog. But regardless, Spurs. Listen, I mean, Dragusin, I think it just had a season-ending injury. The first game, I mean, Liverpool. Were we really poor? No, we were just unlucky in front of goal, and their goalkeeper happened to have his best performance of his life on his first day in a fucking Tottenham shirt. And ultimately, their one goal. Listen, was it a foul before then? Probably. Should the player have been sent off? Probably, but it doesn't matter because we're not going to make excuses. Coming into this game, Spurs are not going to have shit in this game. It's just not going to happen.
They're going to get killed.
Liverpool, first off, Liverpool
6-0
at home since the Forest game. I have not had any issues. Like Fulham, yes, we dropped points, but we also had a red card, and we should have won that game with a red card. We should.
No. I disagree with you about that. Fulham were playing good before the red card. Let's not make any
Mm.
mistakes.
Well,
They were playing
the red-
They were playing good. Anthony Robinson and he
Robertson. Well, first off, Robertson handed them the first goal of
America.
that game, and the second goal. The second goal comes from Trent just being completely out of it, like he has been all season. Just vacates the space, allows the cross to come in. It's a back post finish. It is what it is.
We've
But
seen
we
what
also
Fulham have done this year away from. About them.
I'm not totally discrediting Fulham. I'm just saying that at home, for the most part, we shut teams down. Right? What I expect to see, I don't see a killer transition knife edge from Tottenham. Even when they get chances, they fucking miss each one of them. They ain't gonna be hitting the post like Bournemouth. To be honest, I'm expecting an early goal. I'm expecting midfield dominance. Soboslai was absent. So the game that we beat Tottenham 6-3, right? And 2 of those goals are like whatever, right?
No, those were garbage minutes goals for sure.
Soboslai was in that team and was the number 1 player in every single stat that you could have stat in. For the game in the Carabao Cup, Soboslai wasn't there. Since Soboslai has come back, the midfield has looked completely different. I think is instrumental to how this works. Gravenberch is also fantastic, but Gravenberch gets better with Soboslai. Our front three is firing. Allison is back. I don't see a single universe in which Tottenham even fucking score in this game. Maybe at the end of the game to make it 3-1. But to me, Spurs are just they're way too hurt. They're far too off confidence, and they're just the least clinical team that I have seen in the top 6 in a long time. So yeah, there should be easy goings, but to be honest, it is what it is because I got bigger fish for that.
A Kulishevsky dagger in the 89th minute, 2-1.
Yeah, it's always in the 89th minute, isn't it?
Yes.
No, I just have zero confidence that Spurs will be able to do anything in this game. I think if it was Liverpool, if I'm Liverpool, I'm already making traveling plans to Wembley. Like it's gonna be a decimation, and you guys will likely win at Wembley as well. I mean, you go up against Arsenal, you go up against Newcastle. I think you definitely win. If you go up against Arsenal, I think Arsenal have a chance.
But here's the thing, though.
That would be Arsenal needing to play our best game, though. Go ahead.
Exactly.
Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
But TJ, to me, right? If Arsenal make the final and Liverpool make the final, if Liverpool lose, whatever, right? Arsenal finally have a cup. It is what it is. This is the least important trophy that I'm in. I'm top in the Champions League and the Premier League. If you lose to Liverpool in that Carabao Cup
Bigger
final,
fish or fry.
the devastation is like a nuclear bomb, right? You have so much more to lose than Liverpool does if you make it to the final against us, which is why I'm not even afraid of you, because you're going to be playing with not just your season, but your entire existence on the line in that game.
Jacob, you have a
is Jacob currently on a flight or
He's in a wind tunnel.
Yeah, like,
he's driving to Dodge's house right now.
Bro's on the way to LA.
he's on the way to LA to join Luca.
He's in the
really? Does that sound bad?
Tesla tunnel.
You have a little bit of background noise.
It could be worse.
I'm in the car.
Okay, there you go. All right. Well, tell us, Jacob, how are you feeling going into the second leg at Anfield? Happy Tell Day, by the way.
I was gonna say, you want me to tell you something about Matthias? Happy Matthias Day all day, baby! We cooking.
It's just another Carlson.
Brother, this guy stinks!
I feel like I had to cover my ears over my head.
Carlson part 2.
Is my mic messed up? Here, I'll jump out and I'll try coming back in.
All right, that's
win,
fine.
Jacob.
It's just a win. It's just the background noise. There's a lot of.
There's no wind though. That's what's crazy.
Probably just your engine
driving.
I think it's just your car,
Yeah, bro.
Do you have the air
That's
on?
crazy. Dude, the AC's off. I'm sweating my ass off. Look at me. I'm sweating.
In the dark, look at me. Oh, okay, Bane. Okay, Bane. Okay, Bane.
We can hear him though. We can hear him.
Yeah.
Noise.
I literally have. Excuse me for my ignorance, but I don't watch a lot of German football. Is this Matthias Tell guy like
the GOAT? Yeah, he's basically the German. Basically, he's the German version of the best striker you can name.
French version.
Yeah, French version who played in Germany. Well, he's sprechen Sie Deutsch. He still speaks
Steve
Deutsch.
is here to check your ignorance, all right, Jacob?
He's so good, right at Bayern Munich keeper. What's up, Steve? Why did Bayern Munich keep him, Steve, if he's so good? Like Jacob claims.
This company's a fucking.
Because no one's better than Harry Kane. That's why.
Why didn't Bayern Munich keep Ryan Gravenberch, who's the best midfielder
Because
in the
we're
world this
fucking
season?
idiots.
Exactly. That's simple.
Jacob, can I ask you a question? If he wanted to win trophies, why did he go to Spurs?
A long time ago.
Exactly.
I'll tell you why he came to Spurs.
God.
Because he said, "Fuck United." He said, "Y'all dusty, y'all ugly."
What the hell?
So wait, Jacob, just to confirm, right? Tell told you guys no, and then he asked around to every
He
other
told
club in
Levy
Europe.
no. He told Levy no.
Oh, he told-
and then
he
Ainge
told-
Postecoglou, and then Ainge Postecoglou gets on the phone, and that's all it takes. Ainge Postecoglou gets on the phone, and everybody wants to come to Tottenham. All you need to do is get Ainge Postecoglou on the phone.
So let's remember this
And
when
Jen.
Tell goes on, and then they still lose. Thank you.
It's a little bit chaotic in here
No
now.
one did a touch.
I'm saying Ainge Postecoglou makes one phone call. He says, "Mate," and they all come running.
Jacob,
And
how
win. I agree.
many goals is Ainge Postecoglou gonna lose by on Thursday?
It's going to be a draw, and we're through to the next round. That's what I'm predicting.
Oh God, you dream. You dream.
Fair enough.
We're all in.
I'm not.
Here, by the way.
I'm not going to crush his dreams though. He's had a upsetting past few 4 months within his club. I'm gonna let him dream.
All I'm going to say is, y'all got other things to worry about. You ain't going to worry about little old me. I'm just doing my thing over here. All right, Liverpool, worry about Champions League, worry about Premier League. You know, just worry about them things.
Wait, Mike, do you think Slot goes first 11 on Thursday?
To be honest with you,
No Trent, right? Y'all have no Trent.
well, listen. I mean, Trent not being there is not the end of the world. All that means is that I'm probably not going to concede a goal from the right side.
Wow.
And whenever he does decide to contribute, it ends up being a goal that adds to the goal difference. So if we're up 2-1, it turns into 3-1. If we're up 4-1, it turns into 5-1. But
What if you're losing 2-0?
the only game in which he's done that would be Newcastle. It's the only game I've seen him come on this season, and we were down, and he was the person who made the difference. But that's one appearance in 23 games. I don't think he's going to go full first 11. I would assume
Mike, can
Bradley's
I
going to
interrupt you?
start. Wow. Yeah, sure. Go ahead. I'll give you your treatment.
Yeah, thank you. This I'm breaking up with her before she breaks up with me treatment that you're doing with Trent. Like, stop it. Like,
Bro,
He said nobody's buying it. Nobody's buying it, bro. Nobody's buying it.
No,
buying
pull
it.
up the
All
fucking tapes. Pull up the tapes. I was talking shit on him last season. Okay, I'm not going to do this on this show.
You're
With
doing
all
too
these
much,
members,
bro.
I was talking shit.
Fair, I was too.
No, I'm not going to do this.
Too much. You're doing
For agenda purposes.
I'm not doing this because I was talking. It's on the record. Go to the fucking channel, pull up the episodes, and watch me talking shit on Trent because I was there all last year saying that this guy isn't good enough. Right? So I ain't doing any of that. We'll probably go with Bradley on the at the back right. I bet you Tsimikas will start left because he'll want to start Robertson in the Prem. It'll most likely be Virgil and Konate just because Konate needs to get minutes under his legs again. I would assume. Gravenberch has played pretty much fucking everything. Kelleher will probably be in goal. Gravenberch, McAllister, maybe Curtis Jones as the left-sided 8 along Gravenberch. I don't know. I would assume that he would play Szoboszlai, but front three, Mo, obviously, Darwin, and most likely Cody Gakpo. So, we've rotated a lot this season, but we're also the most fit team. So even if he does go first 11, I don't have any injuries other than the one knock that Trent just picked up. And even when Trent picked that up, Slot subs everybody off. Like, no matter who's playing, if we're up 2-0, Mo, 80th minute, you're coming off. Federico, get on there. I'm fine, right? Cody Gakpo and Luis Diaz are interchangeable. Diogo Jota could come off the bench in the last 20 minutes. We're fine. The midfield, I got a plethora of options to help balance the minutes. Even if we went full first starting 11, I'm not worried about fatigue. I'm not worried about rotation because again, I am the most fit team in this top 4 race, in this title race. And I expect to be at the conclusion of this game.
As this confidence that you have in your team and the things that you're pointing out with what you're hoping to achieve this season, I don't want you to do any type of revisionist type analysis, but let's Let's
I'm
take
not
a
doing
second.
revisionism.
No, I'm not saying you are. I want to ask the question.
The reverse gaslighting.
The
Yeah, the Tenet. Have you seen the movie Tenet? Let's do it in reverse. Now,
Hey guys, before you go, Vader, big up Oregon Goon. Dal had to leave. He had to go eat dinner, but big up. Thanks for the super chat, Dal. You did not need to do that.
Big up.
You are part of this channel, but I appreciate it, bro. Actually, next time, don't give YouTube its cut. Just Venmo me $7 or $10. You know what I mean?
It's like money.
Just
Yeah,
Venmo me.
cleaning the money. Cleaning the
And then
money.
next time, send someone to the cell.
It's another freaking
TJ to
overall.
the
And
cell.
the cell will return. By the way, the cell will return. I just would feel bad. We need to have the cell here. We need to have the actual cell. But big up, and we got Omar joining us as well. Big up, Omar.
Wait, what was Vader's question?
Yeah, go ahead, Vader. Sorry.
Yeah, my question was, you keep emphasizing proudly with chest that you're doing all of this without any signings, right? And you're currently on pace for a quad. Is there any point where you take what?
I said, let's not go to the quad.
Oh, you want to do the leopard in the tree thing now?
No. I'm winning. I'm winning the Premier League, but I'm not going to sit here and say I'm winning all four. That's not going to happen.
Okay,
go ahead.
Right.
Continue.
All right. But is there a point where you kind of step back and you reflect and you're like, Klopp did not do enough while here. Klopp had his limitations, and it's being on display with this current season.
Jurgen Klopp, based on what he achieved in terms of the amount of trophies he got and the amount of trophies that he could got.
Sorry, can I be honest? The same way you're like cutthroat, but have that same venomous tone. The way you talk about Trent. And you have
fine. You want it? I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back to the end of last season.
Good.
Jurgen only won 1 out of 4 major European finals. That's not good enough. 25% conversion is not good. I'm not going to hear it. Jurgen came in second place, 3 times by a point? Mm-hmm. That's not good enough. I'm sorry. If you lost by 1 point, then you could win by 1 point. That's one game in which you can look back to and say, I made a mistake there. I could have rectified it. And Pep didn't do that. So I have to be fair to him. But at the same time, that's just looking at from like a broad footballing perspective. Did he underachieve on an objective level about the amount that he won? Yes. But in the context of a Liverpool fan, did he do what was necessary to bring the club out of this 10 feet of shit into relevancy? I do think he underachieved, but at the same time, what he did for Liverpool, I think was an overachievement to take us from where we were to where he left us at. That's overachieving. But yes, fiscally, by the numbers, we should have won more. I should have won 1 more Champions League. I probably should have won the Europa League. I probably should have gotten 1 or 2 more cups, and I definitely should have ended with 2 leagues. I'm sorry, Leicester away, Mo Salah missing the penalty, that would have won me the league. I also lost the league by 11 centimeters.
And one follow-up
can I just
question?
say this, Vader, before you continue? I will say this about Liverpool, though. One thing I will give Klopp is that I think that he was playing against the best version of City. Like the City that they were going against, for me, was probably the best version of Pep's City, the Centurion team.
Yeah, Centurions, yep.
Centurions, the team that basically won 99 points. Like they lost the league by what 97 points, and they lost the league title. Like,
I hear that.
It's incredible. I mean, I agree with both of your points, right? And Dawes makes a good point that there were some trophies that he should have definitely won. I do believe. The 2018 Champions League final, I think that they really played well. If it wasn't for the errors by the goalkeeper, they could have won that, right? I think of like even the one that they lost in 2022, right? I think that they were the better team in that game, but I just feel like it was just Real Madrid's moment around that time. And I do agree, but I will also say this. But I will say this, Vader, right? I genuinely I will say this. When Klopp became Liverpool manager, we knew he was going to transform Liverpool, but the transformation in the short time that he transformed that team, he took over that team in 2015 or 2016, right?
Yeah.
Was it 2015?
Yeah,
so he took over
15, 16.
And we were the best team in the world in 3 years.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Within like 4 years, you guys had already won the Champions League, and then within 5 years, you'd already won your first league title in 30 years, right? And also, if you think about it, like the budget, I would say that you guys had, Vader, to basically stay at the top. They didn't have that. They went out there. They bought players like
No, now
Mane.
you're doing too much,
No, but
Omar.
hold on, Vader. But let me finish, Vader. You have to also, you got to remember this. When they bought players like Mane, we knew Mane had a lot of potential from what we saw at Southampton. When
Mhm.
they bought Salah, nobody expected Salah to become the player that he became at Liverpool. Everyone knew he might come in and do a job, but nobody expected him to come in to score 30, 40 goals.
But
To
every
become a
single season.
legend.
Omar,
Exactly.
That's a big step up.
The problem though is that unfortunately 9 out of 10 people don't give a shit about context. Like it's
No,
only
exactly, and that's why I'm
it's
trying to
only
give the
it's
context now.
it's
That's true.
only but the thing is that it's only if this were a room of 100 people, it's only the people in this call who would give a shit about the context. The other people are just like, I only see one of everything, right? And so from like when I talk about Klopp, it's more of taking into account what the regular person's opinion would be. And ultimately, you're just going to end up looking at that team 30 years from now, and you're going to say, they only won one Prem. They
And
only
also,
won one.
let's also not forget also, Dallas, about this. Don't get it twisted. Arne Slot, what Arne Slot is doing with this Liverpool team is incredible. But I want you guys to really remember, Arne Slot taking over this Liverpool team is different from what Klopp was taking over. Klopp was taking over a completely dead team.
This
That team
no,
needed- that
I
team
have
needed
no, I have to
complete-
give you the Vader treatment and interrupt you. Listen, the thing that's going on here, is I'm not talking about when Klopp first got here. I'm talking about the last few years, and in particular last season. I find it oddly convenient that when Klopp looks to be out of ideas, when Klopp has kind of fallen out of top four because he played in Europa last season, that he happens to say, I'm tired. I'm moving on.
But
Because-
Vader, wouldn't you say that this season is different from the previous season? Because this season, you guys are having a poor season, right?
I'm going to kill this
Arsenal
argument right here.
Like Liverpool and Arsenal are having an inconsistent season. Chelsea are just trying to come back to being in top four again.
But
right?
Omar, this is it. I gotta interrupt you again. Sorry,
Okay.
I'm
No, go
accustomed to being interrupted, so I know how to do it. When it's happening with regards to
So good.
when it comes down to what Klopp was doing in the league, I hear you loud and clear. But when we want to talk about, oh, look at City, they've fallen off. This is why Mike was ready to kind of dead the conversation. But no, hold up. Let's look at Europa. That has nothing to do with City. That's all about Klopp and who he's competing against. Let's look at him finishing beyond second and other clubs finishing ahead of him. That has nothing to do with City. So I find it kind of interesting that he kind of fell off, said that he was tired, and that it shouldn't just be automatic. It's a City thing because he was showing to not be good enough against
It was
the
never a
Arsenal,
City thing,
right?
It was never a City thing, baby. Because listen, ultimately, if Jurgen Klopp if he didn't leave and he were in charge this season, we'd be on 41 points. I'd be 9 points behind Arsenal, and I'd be level with Manchester City. It's just that simple. Arne Slot has completely transformed the way that these players play.
Yeah.
First off, Cody Gakpo is actually is one of the most efficient left wingers in the league this season, whereas he was completely useless under Klopp. Ryan Gravenberch is the best, is the most informed midfielder in the world because of Arne Slot.
And Klopp had him.
Yes.
Yeah.
But again, that does not discredit the years prior of Klopp. Since we won the Premier League, it has been a downward trajectory. Yes, we went for the quad, but results speak louder than your fucking chase, right? You only won 2, won the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup. You lost in the Champions League final, and you lost to City in the Premier League. So it is what it is. I don't think that Klopp would even be coming close to what Arne Slot's doing. And 56 points, 56 goals scored, 21 goals against, a 35 goal differential. That's fucking absurd with the same exact players that we had last season. So
all right, this is when I gotta say farewell when Mike starts doing the slot prop and wants to emphasize how well Liverpool are doing. Guys, listen, if you continue to subscribe to TJ Warren TV, there's going to be American Waffle idiots moving forward. Amazing panel. I'll do my best to always be here from beginning to end, but today I got to dip a little early, man. Thanks
No,
for
it's
having
all
me.
good, Vader. Thank you very much for joining as well. Subscribe to Vader Games TV,
What's up?
people, if you
Yes,
haven't
sir.
already.
What's
You got to
up?
be, you know, if you live under a
Now
rock and
he
you
can
haven't
get the Mike
subscribed.
Goss treatment because he's not here.
Now
No one
he
can
can get the
interrupt.
Mike-
Yeah, and exactly right. Well, and I want to pivot. I want to pivot over a little bit more to the transfer window, and it'll be a quick conversation because Chelsea and Arsenal did nothing.
Well, Liverpool.
I read
Barca.
or Liverpool.
Yeah, I mean-
I read
Don't
something.
act like that's a revelation, RSM.
Liverpool.
I'm not saying that's a
also,
revelation.
you
I'm just saying we have to include
know, the
everybody.
window
Like,
for Liverpool is
no, literally, like
very
let's talk
quiet.
about the window. Not
Yeah,
okay.
cool. Next topic. No,
The only one who did anything just left.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
The one who did everything. Just
Yeah, he
My
actually
only
did.
problem. My only problem is that we were seriously linked to Ollie Watkins, and there were serious conversations.
That
going
was
on.
so ridiculous of you guys
That was-
to put in a bid for
I'm-
Ollie Watkins,
Marshall,
late
Marshall.
you guys did.
Marshall,
40
we all
million.
know what it was, Marshall. It was PR. We all
Yeah,
know
it was PR.
this
It
is
was
what they
literally,
do.
I'm going to put in a
They-
bid for Ollie Watkins just to say, I tried to get a striker.
You know what-
That's
Dude,
really what it
you-
was.
You don't.
Think about-
40
think
million
about
for Ollie
it.
Watkins is not trying. Sorry,
That's-
Omar.
But TJ,
Omar,
no.
real quick. Omar,
Okay,
real
okay,
quick.
go
No, real quick. 40 million. You're taking the piss for Ollie Watkins.
No,
He
but
was
TJ.
arguably the best striker in the league last season. Top
Yes.
3.
DJ, that's fine. Like, it's not so much the fact that you bid 40 million for Ollie Watkins, because listen, my owners at some point bid 80 for Moises Caicedo when he was actually worth 115 or 110, whatever we ended up paying for him. It's not about the starting bid. It's about when you place that starting
When.
bid. You
Fact.
place that starting bid maybe a day before John Duran goes to Saudi. Like, what are we doing?
Exactly. That's the thing, TJ. It's the timing of it. Because if you think about it, right, you guys needed a striker from the start of the transfer window. Because Saka has been injured since last
We've
month,
needed
right?
since
We need a
last
striker
summer.
since last season.
Since last summer. Not
You should be
this
grateful
summer.
though, TJ. You should be grateful.
Shut
because
up, Doss. Don't.
your
no,
gloves-
don't do this.
No,
I know what you're gonna do.
I am
don't
gonna
even
do it.
wanna
I am
hear
gonna do it.
gaslighting.
I am gonna do it, and I'm gonna do
No
it right
Vader
now.
here, so someone's gotta
I'm gonna do it
gaslight.
right now because your club put a bid in for someone. You want to know what my club got on January 31st?
Here
I
we
got
go.
a
Guys get-
I got a fucking tweet from James Pierce saying that Richard Hughes has gathered the Liverpool staff to look at summer targets with 4 days left.
Let's
in the
go.
summer. So
The transfers falling at the top of the
I
league.
don't want to fucking hear this. I don't want to fucking hear this,
Wow.
bro. My January transfer window was, hey guys, we're looking at summer targets. Big up,
Doss,
man. Thank
Doss,
you.
Like, I don't
you're
under-
6
Doss.
point clear. You're 6 point
Doss,
clear.
you're
Who gives a
literally
shit?
at the top of the league. We're in the battle for top 4, and all we did is
The
continue the
perfect
human
time to
trafficking
strengthen
experiment.
is when you're at the top of the mountain. The perfect time to
There's
strengthen
levels.
is when
There's
everyone else
levels.
is weak.
When everyone else is weak, bro. You guys
Yeah.
are winning this regardless.
But can I just say this?
Like,
very
regardless.
quickly.
We
TJ,
could just
TJ,
quick sim to the
when
end
it
of the
comes-
season.
Yeah, okay. I'm focused on
But-
next
yeah,
year.
but-
I want to go back to back.
Happy Tell Day.
Yeah, but RSM, just to conclude, basically, for me, I would say this about the Watkins point, right? You see Watkins, the bid for Watkins. Let's be real. We all know what the Cronkies were basically trying to do, or basically what Arsenal were trying to do, right? Because a lot of the Arsenal fans were were beginning to lose patience. They were like, "Yo, our attackers getting injured left, right, and center. We're trying to go for the league apparently, and basically our current attackers are not firing." Right? The frustrations was beginning to mount. So this idea of them bidding at the time that they did, and the fact that John Durant was about to leave, it was like, yo, this was a no-brainer. We knew they were going to reject it. Because why would they sell both of their best attackers on the same within like a few days? You understand what I'm
I
saying?
mean, then why
So,
even
at the
try? Then why even do it and then piss off the fan base when it's an
because
obvious
that's the
low ball?
idea,
Like it makes
DJ.
no
So
sense.
you can say that you at least tried to get a
That's
striker and they
bullshit,
turned you
because
down.
Anybody
Exactly,
that's not affiliated with AFTV will know that that was a bullshit. That was a
There's
bullshit.
a lot of people
PR
affiliated with AFTV.
What are you trying to say there, TJ? No, what are you trying to say there, TJ?
You know what G is trying to say there.
You know exactly what I'm
Yeah,
trying to
what
say.
you trying to
I
say?
don't
You know
think
what
I'm
he's
being- I don't
implying?
think I'm veiling. I don't think I'm veiling anything. I'm not part of the propaganda
No.
machine.
No,
Like,
no,
sorry, I'm not. Nice
but
guys
TJ,
over there. I've
TJ,
met
that's
most
the-
of
but
them.
TJ,
Nice
that's
guys
the
over there,
idea.
but I don't
Take
agree
the
with
gloves off, TJ. Come on,
But
it's time to
TJ,
get dirty.
that's the point. Let's be real. That's the point, right? The fact that they can say they try. Listen, they tried to do this. When were you guys linked to Zuba Mendy during the transfer? You guys were linked at some point, and that was because you guys actually lost, I think, to
I
Newcastle.
forgot.
We
Was
were.
it the Newcastle? when
That
you
was
guys
like a
lost to
big
Newcastle?
Ornstein Bamba. Nothing ever came of
Exactly.
it.
What?
It was a
But
dud.
Marshall,
It was just
Marshall,
like,
But
that's
Marshall,
it.
we know what they're doing. See, this is the thing. This
That's
is what they always
crazy.
do. Yeah. Basically, they're trying to basically get the pressure off them, right? The heat of them by saying, well, we actually went in for this guy. Well, at least we went for him. We went in for Ollie Watkins. They rejected it. So what do
Yeah,
you guys wanna
hashtag
do?
we put in a
But
shift.
this-
Hashtag we
but
put in a
this-
shift.
yeah,
You
but-
feel me?
But here's also the thing, right? I said this to Steve when we were on Northside's channel. Santiago Jimenez, who is a guy who's been scoring goals left, right, and center
Baller.
at Feyenoord, just went to AC Milan for 35 million. That was a guy who was available, TJ, right? He may not be a fancy name, but the guy knows where the back of the net is. You guys could have
He's a
gone
real
and get him,
9, bro.
but he's just-
He is
Bro,
a
like I
real
said, why the
He-
fuck
He
are
just
we
doesn't
for
know
him?
where the back of the net is for Mexico.
No, he
That's
doesn't.
because Mexico.
I've never
are-
seen
That, bro, Mexico generates no offense. But the thing is, like, we keep having these reoccurring conversations about Arsenal and strike. Bro, Arteta doesn't want a striker. Like, when are we going
Yeah.
to come to terms with the fact that this brother does not want a striker? So the people who are scouting don't even have a short list of strikers because he's not asking for one. He hasn't asked for one in forever. They don't sign strikers. They're not looking at strikers. They just admire them. They window shop strikers, bro. They go on Instagram. They see a striker they like. They hit like and they keep scrolling. He doesn't want a striker. He doesn't. He's not going on dating apps looking for a striker. He's just scrolling Instagram, scrolling TikTok. Sees a striker, hits like, moves. Like, we can keep trying to link, oh, this and that, but it's just not going to happen. At some point, we have to give it up as a collective and just talk about the sporting directors and the owners at Arsenal. Because they're enabling this. They are enabling this. So
Well,
TJ, question, though.
they're enabling it, but it's also the fan base allowing it to happen. That's been my biggest problem. Like,
I
look,
mean,
and I'm not.
there's
I'm
not
not
much they can do outside of just not embargo from buying tickets, embargo from buying merch and stuff, and that's a whole.
Well, nobody's
It's a whole
and
fiasco.
in this Premier League,
Effort.
nobody is
The
going to
word you're
do
looking
that.
for is effort. It's a real effort
Yeah.
to actually impact change.
Yeah.
But this is the thing, Mike. The issue
A
is,
movement.
and TJ just mentioned it. The problem is a lot of the Arsenal fan base, they feed into this idealism that the club always buy into these things that the club sells them, right? This idea
Yep.
of, well, we tried. Listen, at the end of the day, if you guys are serious about trying to win the league, there's no such thing as try, nearly, because at the end of the day, this idea of, let's try and try and try, you're gonna always be the nearly men, because nearly men are always the ones that always convince themselves that they're trying. You understand what I'm saying? So at the end of the
No,
day,
I
and
understand what
what's
you're
funny,
saying.
TJ? And you know what's crazy, TJ, right? I'm telling you, yes, that win against City, it was a blessing, but also it was a curse. Because you know why? Because that win now is gonna make a lot of these fans at your club now look at this and say, well,
It's actually-
Omar, if they do
That's
that,
actually a
if
really
they
good
do that,
point.
if they do that, they need to be wearing a
I'm
helmet.
telling you, they
No,
will.
but that's
You
a
know
real
they
good
will.
point because when you look at my window, right? Like we didn't do much. We did actually have signings. We had movement in terms of like outgoings and stuff. But because my club was in such a bad patch of form, my whole entire fan base just crashed out on every single little thing. If we got a midfielder, they crashed out. If it wasn't the right midfielder, we crashed out. If it wasn't a recall on Leslie Ugochukwu, we crashed out. If we recalled the center back on Chalaba, we crashed out. It's not Gahey, it's crash out. It's everything was a crash out for Chelsea fans. It was ridiculous.
Everything.
But I mean, I before we even move on to a different transfer one, I needed to ask though, TJ, what did you guys actually do? Absolutely nothing, or did you actually like acquire youth signings and stuff like that?
No, we did nothing, and we essentially cemented the transfer of Jorginho out to Flamenco. Other than that, we really didn't do anything.
Oh wow!
Oh, so that's a summer transfer?
Yeah,
Shout out
it's a
Jorginho.
summer transfer.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
he's gone.
Big up
Yeah,
to
he's
you.
gone. He's gone.
Going on
but
to better things.
it was about time. No, he needs to go. He needs to go to Brazil. He needs to do what he needs to do out there. That's fine. I don't care. I just think that this summer transfer window, Arsenal, we're gonna be talking this time next season, or let's just say in 9 months, and there's gonna be an entirely different Arsenal squad. the bench is going to look extremely different, and it's going to be like the summer transfer window is going to be so busy for us, and if it's not,
You think so?
like we're gonna fall completely off. I mean, we're already
Wait, what makes
we're
you think
linked
that, though?
FC,
But
we're
TJ,
you know.
What makes you
No,
think that?
I'm Link
Honestly.
FC. I'm Link.
No,
FC.
we're
No,
monitoring
no,
the
stop.
situation.
TJ,
No,
TJ,
Arsenal. No, hold up.
But TJ,
Arsenal have the greatest amount of adjectives other for players other than signed. Like admired, looking at, revered, in love with, everything but signed. Like
scintillated by.
yeah, yeah. Like
Stimulated
they have
by
every
it.
adjective in the book
I
except
don't
for
even think that
signed.
works,
So.
but it's all right.
But this is the thing,
works for
TJ.
you
Also,
guys.
but, this is also, but another point is also, TJ. You have to realize you're not the only club that's actually going to be active in the summer transfer window, right? I think Chelsea will be active. I think Liverpool will be active in this transfer window. I think City will be a lot more active. United is definitely going to be active with Amorim if he's still there, right? Even my club, right? We next season we can actually go and actually buy players, and we definitely need to basically do a lot of reshuffling. So I'm gonna be honest, TJ. You guys are really gonna have to splash the cash if you guys are really serious about trying to rebuild the team. Because next season, a lot of teams are gonna be rebuilt themselves. So look, I'm gonna be very honest. When it comes to your club and your management, it's a shambles. That's really it, honestly.
Yeah, my whole thing is that it's fine as long as they make money, and people are, as long as they're rolling out Arteta tifos, the Vamos tifos at the Emirates, as long as no, I'm serious, it's a fucking real thing. As long as we keep singing the Super Mick Arteta song about getting us to the Champions League, even though we've been in the Champions League the last 2 fucking seasons, like, and we're going to be in the
players
Champions
once
League
you get in the
again.
Champions League, guys. You'll get the
Bro,
players.
I just
Yeah,
think
exactly.
the standards are through the floor. And Omar, I hear what you're saying about like it's going to be a very, very busy market. I hear what you're saying. They will do the absolute bare minimum, and people will give the window 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10. And that's going to be my big problem. We'll go out there, we'll get somebody like a Zubamendi, and then we'll get a bunch of no names, and that'll be it.
Zubamendi will be in demand in the summer. I can tell you that. I think that we will go in for him. So,
I was just using his name as an example. He's been linked to everybody. He's been linked to Liverpool.
My dude doesn't want to leave the mountains of wherever he is.
Das looks like he's in pain. What are you doing?
Well, I mean, listen, I'm just a little upset because I just read a stat and I don't have anyone to share it with because we don't have a United rep.
The United reps that I contacted weren't available.
I just read that Ruben Amorim took charge of United when they were in 13th. That was 13 games ago, and they're still in 13th. They've had 13 fucking points in 13. Oh, wait, hold on. I'm gonna get it for you exactly. They've had 14 points in 13 games. Brother.
Yeah.
If anybody needs transfers, it ain't me. It ain't TJ. It ain't Chelsea. It's Ruben Amorim.
Yeah, but they don't got, bro. We know they're broke, bro. Son, they have no money.
They'll find
They
a way
finally
to
got rid of
do that. You know
Rashford.
how RSL.
But they didn't sell him. That's the issue.
They finally loaned Rashford.
They didn't sell him.
I'm also just pissed off we didn't get any of the people that like the links that Liverpool had. It's like we would have been spending like 30 million. Like just spend the money.
No, Das,
spend the
I'm so
money on
serious.
Cherokee.
You guys
Spend the
probably
money on
have
Cherokee.
Das. You guys probably have more money than anyone in the Premier League. Double.
Das, who are you
Like
guys?
double.
You guys have been
everybody.
saving up like crazy.
Bro.
You
if
guys made profit.
Hold on.
this
Deep
summer.
this. If we win the Premier League and we win the Champions League, forget the rest of them. Plus, we made a profit last summer.
Yeah.
If they don't drop at least 150 million, I don't care how. We could win the quad.
And sign
150 is
Fire
very
'em all.
generous.
Fire them all. Fire 'em all.
And solid contract.
You
Okay,
could
so
sign
when was
all
the
three.
last time-
Also, wait,
Das,
hold
Das,
on.
When was the last time your club actually spent that amount in the window?
Van Dijk.
Net. Okay, if we do it by like net, I mean, technically in the window that we've got McAllister, Gravenberch, Endo.
Yeah, you got a
but like
players in
we
there,
we spent like 120, 130 million, but net wise it was really like 40 or 50. But regardless of that, the reason why I think the contracts haven't been announced yet, which is actually a theory, I think there's a lot of validity to, the fiscal year starts on the 1st of April. So tax wise and business wise, it actually makes 1,000 times more sense to announce those contracts on the 1st of April rather than on the 31st of March or any day prior to that, because that saves the club a fuck ton of money. And if there's anything I know about FSG, they're like me, penny pinchers.
Well, and here's the thing: are you FSG out or are you FSG in?
I don't want them at the club because I think their definition of ambition is different from mine. Their definition of ambition is financial sustainability, making the club bigger, and trophies are the cherry on top. Whereas my definition of ambition is trophies above everything. Right? Manchester City, perfect example. They don't spend hundreds of millions of dollars to improve their stadium. They buy players and they win trophies and have a fat fucking cabinet for them. Me, I build new training centers. I get profits. I don't go into, what we call administration. And yet Liverpool have scars because of that, because of Hickson, Gillette, whatever. But you've been a top 8 revenue club in the world for 8 years now. And this is not a profitable sport. So financially speaking, my nearest comparables are Burnley and Norwich City. And that should tell you everything that you need to fucking know about me. So
Bro.
I'm FSG out because our definitions of ambition
Imagine
are
how
different.
unhinged Das would be if he had either the Cronkies or Blueco.
You're saying exactly.
I don't think that they're the worst in the world. I just think that with the potential people who have come forward to potentially buy this club, they would have taken us to a different level in terms of trophies because their priorities would have been trophies. I still have won. I'm still grateful for what they've done. They're a hell of a lot better than a lot of ownerships out there. They're better than the Glazers. They're better than the Cronkies because I fucking won. But my nearest rival in terms of trophies is Manchester City, and their owner prioritizes winning more than mine. So they've won more. And I can still sit here and say, I don't need Caicedo. Like, I don't need to spend 120 million pounds on a player. I'm asking you to go out there and do what you did 5 seasons ago.
Just bolster the squad, really.
Just buy those guys for 50 to 70 and work it through, right? But to me, this is also a really deep conversation because then you can get into the idea of wage structure and how stupid the way that they do it is compared to everyone else. You can talk about literally being forced into making transfers because of needs, not preemptively making transfers. But again, I'm grateful for what they are, but I mean what was it? The guy from Qatar who wanted to buy us would have taken that. That super rich Indian guy who's actually a Liverpool fan would have taken that. Elon Musk would have taken that because at least I know that they would hire people where the number one objective is trophies. The number one objective is not to make 20 million pounds in profit this season. Your objective is to fill. You
want somebody where they have generational wealth.
We could FSG, dude. Okay, the difference between our clubs is that your ownership will take money out of their pocket and they will put it into transfers as an investment. FSG do not do that. They take money from the club and they spend it for the club, right? If I had an own, I think based on FFP 2 seasons ago, I could spend 400 million pounds in that window and I would not break a single rule. But my owners who are worth over 10 billion fucking pounds, not even dollars, pounds, can't for the life of them pull 20 million out of their pocket and go out and buy a fucking midfield.
Bro, they're saving it for a rainy day, bro. You gotta be, sometimes you gotta have that rainy day fund.
The thing is,
you need to have that rainy day fund,
I'm still on top of the world and I've spent nothing. I've actually made money. So,
which is why we're saying, like,
I feel like
some of us are struggling a bit more than you, Das. Like, you're out here crying.
I feel like Das would be pretty happy with our window.
I'm just hearing a guy with 2 Christmas hands under his arms, and he's crying because he has no bread, man. Like,
I'm a greedy fuck. What do you want from me?
That's what
greedy.
I'm saying. Like,
you should be greedy. When I'm on top of the world, I should be greedy. Manchester City.
Das out here going to the homeless person on the corner, being like, "Hey, the price of eggs, huh? I'm homeless. What do you mean? The price of eggs? I'm homeless. I'm literally homeless."
But listen, this is the mentality that Manchester City. The only reason why they won 4 straight, the only reason why they have a trouble is because they would go up to homeless people and they would say, "What's the price of eggs, sir?" I don't give a shit. This is not a sport for morals, right? Like, sports is not about that. It's about winning.
I don't think anybody is even saying that. I'll say this, right? I think that honestly, when it comes to American owners, bro, I never trust American owners for any club, bro. Like, at the end of the day, American owners always prioritize the finances over basically.
You want to know why, Omar?
What's that?
Do you want to know why?
Because it's a business. For them, it's about profit.
No. It's because the way that sports are run in America is for profit. The way that sports because we make so much more money than you. Like the Premier League, I think on a global scale is like 9th in terms of the richest leagues, and the top 5 are all American sports. And all of those teams,
biggest sports market.
Sure.
And what's even more mind-boggling is that when I look at someone like Erling Haaland's contract, and I see that he's only making 21 million a year for 9 years, I'm like, bro, this motherfucker is underpaid as shit. He's making nothing. Players in the NFL make more than that year over year, who aren't even top 5 in their position. Players in the NBA.
Nothing.
Oh no, I'm talking about in
Talk about greedy, bro.
Talent relative to others and how they get paid.
Yeah, exactly. In comparison to American sports, it's nothing.
Okay.
Like, dude, 20 million a year in the NBA. I'm thinking to myself, what do you get? Like 12 minutes a game, 14 minutes a game? Not even.
Damn.
Like in the MLB, I'm sitting to myself and I'm like, what are you, like a 285 hitter? 280?
Yeah.
Not even 275?
Yeah.
Like it's just the way that we operate in America is completely different to the way that Europe operates, and I really don't think that the conversion is just, it just doesn't make sense.
Shout out Bill Foley though. Shout out Bill Foley at Bournemouth. He is American, and they are doing.
Yeah. But shout
Shout
out
out to Foley.
But let me ask you guys something.
He's
Like,
an American that's doing it right.
Do you
and
think
Atalanta have a big ownership.
Oh yeah, okay, and Roma as well, right? Roma, I think also.
Roma is shit. Roma.
But this is the thing though. Like, shout out Atalanta.
They all hate the free kids.
But this is the thing. Look, listen. Shout out Atalanta. Shout out Bournemouth. But they are not at the size of the clubs that we are talking about. Respectfully, okay. Like, they're talking thousands. We're talking millions. You feel me? Like, once you start getting into those type of numbers for American owners, the math starts changing. Trust me. For Atalanta, they're doing business deals on Klarna. You feel me? Layaway. They're paying that, $1 for the next $1 a day for the next 30 years kind of thing.
Wrong.
Right? Like, I'm not wrong. And Bournemouth, bro, like they're going for, middle of the pack, so that, the sum of the parts, the whole is more than the sum of the parts kind of thing. You feel me? That's what Bournemouth are doing. When you're talking about Liverpool, when you're talking about Chelsea, when you're talking about Arsenal, we're talking about American owners of these big clubs, the math is different. We're talking revenue in the millions, hundreds of millions of dollars.
Not even, dude.
Right.
Billions. Let's be honest.
Yeah, billions. Yeah, billions. When
It's
you add in
billions
all
to
these other
millions,
deals, when you
yeah.
add in, like anything else that you want to add, the math starts changing for these owners. These owners are billionaires. They're not millionaires. They're billionaires, and the math changes for them. That's why they move different. Like I'm saying, shout out Bournemouth, shout out Atalanta, shout out Roma. Anybody who has like these American owners but that are smaller clubs. When you talk about bigger clubs, the profit margins the potential profit margins are so much higher. They want to squeeze every last drop. They're gonna cut every corner, and unfortunately, for a lot of clubs, the corners that they cut is with the actual team, because they know if and Arsenal has seen it. They know if they can sell the brand, it doesn't matter what the team does. The brand is making the money. That's why before every game, Arsenal come out with a cringy video talking about today is the day. It's game day. How about you actually just win? And then everything comes out. No, but it's the branding, bro. They need to sell you the dream.
Sense, really, doesn't it? But that's what really makes sense. Because if you think about it, right, all these American owners, right, that basically do the bare minimum to just finish like in the top 4 in the Premier League, or try to get to the top 8 of the Champions League and try to get that Champions League money. It's like, you do know that if you actually win these trophies, you're gonna actually get more profit. Like I don't, like, it makes no sense. But at the end of the day,
profit, revenue,
like revenue wise, but still does, like, if you win, the more trophies you win, the more revenue you actually get.
But at what cost?
Omar, here's the problem with what you just said. Here's the thing. I refuse to believe, and in this day and age, that all these billionaire owners aren't aware of these things. I refuse to believe. You don't make $1 billion by being an idiot. Like, you have to know the ins and outs of the business. You hire people that know the ins and outs of the business, and they do all these things. What my problem with this discussion, it's not really a problem with discussion, but I feel like there must be a way, and at some point, someone will come along that is the best of both worlds. It's not the Jacobs or the Tottenhams of this world, where it's Daniel Levy just looks at profit and everything but disregards the team. He puts money into everything else, the stadium and all the events and all that stuff. It's not the Dasses of the world or the Liverpools of the world, where they're penny pinching and not spending enough money on the team reinforcing. I feel like there must be at some point an owner that can do both, where you're still, because at the same time, like, I'm not having this whole idea that if I'm a billionaire and I own a football club, that I'm not going to make any profit on this team. Bro, it's a fucking football club. I should be making profit off of it. Some type of profit. Doesn't have to be a lot. Doesn't have to be, you don't have to be greedy about it either. You don't have to squeeze every bit of profit out of it and then leave nothing for the team like, you know, Liverpool. But at the same time, like, you should be able to make profit off of it. They're a multi-million, multi-billion-dollar club. There's a brand, international brand name like Chelsea, Liverpool, Inter, Barca. This is world-renowned brands. Like, this is, they're known across the whole world. People buy kits from around the whole world. People come from around the world. They do tours and all that stuff. There should be money to be made there. So, like, this demonization of, like, oh, they're seeking all profit and they're just pocketing everything, and, you know, at the end of the day, they should be making profit off of the club, but at the same time, it shouldn't be at the expense of the club itself.
And you know what, Marshall, you're not actually wrong. I mean, listen, I think everyone in here, we're all well aware and we understand that football is a business. At the end of the day, we're just fans here and we support our clubs, but we understand at the end of the day, this is a business. And at the end of the day, yes, these owners want to make revenue. They want to make a profit every single year.
Omar, before you continue, one thing I also want to point out, just remember, there's a reason why these clubs were sold. It wasn't because, oh, I think you're going to passionately take over, I want to retire. It's because you offered me enough money that I can be like, all right, you know what? I'm pretty happy with the money and I'll leave it to you guys.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, if you look at like a club like mine, where we don't necessarily have a club owner, but we have club presidents, right? But at the end of the day, when it comes to even those club presidents, if there's no profit being made at the club, right, financially, these presidents get, you know, this is why there's always elections, right? Because at the end of the day, if you look at, like, right now, what's going on with Laporta, right? At the end of the day, Laporta's first reign ended because the club wasn't really making a lot of profit, and Rosell kind of took advantage of that, and that's how he got he was taken down, and basically Rosell took over. And when Rosell took over, he basically changed everything, because there was a time at Barcelona in the early 2000s when we didn't have, like, sponsorships. Like, we were actually one of the few clubs that didn't have any sponsors on our shirts. Right, we actually we had a deal with UNICEF where we're donating to every single year, and that's why we had
sponsors right now.
Right? Yeah, but that's the thing, right? Before, that was what we used to. We had the units because we were partners with UNICEF, right? When Rosell took over, everything changed. We actually started having sponsorship deals, right? Qatar Airways was like the first one, right? And even at the end, when it came to Rosell, he was doing so many shady business deals, and it ended up costing him to go to prison in 2014. And Bartomeu, who was the vice president, he ended up ruining my club because he was basically trying to he stepped on a gold mine where he got Messi, Suarez, and Neymar, right? That front three, right, which was basically dominating football. And when Neymar left, he basically was trying so hard to basically mimic that front three. He ended up spending 100 million on players like Dembele, Griezmann, and all of these players, right? And in the end, and Coutinho and all of these players. And as a result, we ended up suffering financial issue after 2020 during the pandemic. And this was all on him. But my point is this, at the end of the day, even clubs like my club where there is no owners, you have to understand revenue and finances is still important to these clubs as well. So I'm well aware and I understand that yes, football is a business, and yes, these owners obviously want to always make a profit. I'm always under this impression of if you are an owner of a big club like an Arsenal or like a Chelsea or like a Liverpool or United or City, right? At the end of the day, it's not just about you're always going to get profit, but also the more trophies you win, or basically the more you're competing in like the top echelons of like football, the more money and revenue you're always gonna get every single year. So that's why sometimes I'm like, it really doesn't make sense how these clubs are always trying to do the bare minimum for the big.
You're diving, but the thing is, you're. It sounds like an airplane is taking off. You're diving into.
Let's hope it's taking off.
You're diving into like. Again, what you're now talking about is not just revenues. That's also.
So I got the forklift over here.
Is that Jacob?
That's
so
it's muted.
Just cutting these things, cutting the ball.
His thing is muted though. That's so weird.
What?
Is it possible for you to mute him?
That's actually crazy. That's actually crazy.
Yeah.
Like
that was absurd. I've never seen that.
That was crazy.
I can't. Yeah, he
crazy.
chose.
But
he muted himself, but he was still coming through. That was wild. Anyway,
that
sorry.
just doesn't make any sense.
Weird.
But just very quickly on that point, you're now diving into money spent versus money earned, and that's the issue with that stance, because it takes a lot of money to win those, and then also that's higher risk, because if I don't win them, then now I'm in the hole. But there's one thing that I saw in the comments about how Elon is the opposite of what LFC stands for.
Here we go.
If this is the stance that you want to take, by all means, like, that's your prerogative. But my question is going to be, what kind of phone do you have? Who makes your clothes?
Here we go.
Who owns your car?
There you go.
How many products in your household use petroleum? What's your stance on eating animals? What's your stance on agriculture? What's your stance on climate change? What's your stance on politics? Again, like we need to drop this virtue signaling, victimization, moral superiority stuff, because no one is clean on the planet. Okay, we all have iPhones.
All these owners are dirty.
We all buy clothes from H&M and Target and fucking Walmart and fucking Macy's. We all support pieces of shit.
You're on YouTube right now.
Ultimately,
Exactly.
Ultimately, it becomes a question of, okay, well, who's the least evil person I can associate myself with? Because now everyone is evil. Yeah. And to be honest with you,
or do I throw morals out the window when it comes to choosing?
To be honest with you, to be honest with you, there's only a select few people who actually genuinely take the lives of others. And so exactly. So like excluding Tony Bloom, excluding the people who literally, take lives. Other than that, as long as you win me trophies, I'm sure we can find a middle ground. And to be honest with you, anyone who's in prospect of buying Liverpool is not someone who is a global, terrorist or.
If you're gonna go after Elon Musk, why don't you just go after like his business dealings?
Go after Stan Kroenke, bro. TJ literally lives. TJ's from Colorado. You can't fucking watch Avalanche games because Kroenke is greedy. It's that simple. It's that simple. Kroenke does not let local people watch hockey games because he wants more money, and he owns Arsenal. He owns Arsenal.
Also, no Liverpool fan would care if Elon Musk took over and y'all won 40.
It's nothing, guys. At the end of the day, it's not even gonna happen. So why the fuck are we talking?
No. My only input to this conversation is shout out Roman, bro, or real G. He said I know people, and that's all you need to know about him.
Yeah.
He said, he said your family needs help. I know people.
Towing the line. Roman might be towing the line.
He said you need help.
Right?
You need
Russia
help.
And America
I know people.
Exactly
Steve's team is owned by an actual nation state, so.
That's what I'm saying.
I can't wait until I can actually.
But I'm saying this to bring up Mike's point,
bro.
Of
you're getting cucked, Steve. You're getting cucked. Like Newcastle is.
You are 100%.
Newcastle
Y'all are in the chair in the corner right now watching City spend this money.
You're the richest club in the world.
You're literally in the corner watching City spend this money, bro. I can't
every single person that they bought. You were connected to all of those players, and the fact that the only reason why you weren't allowed to was because you haven't finished high enough in the last 3 years is bullshit. It's total.
It's because their brand isn't big enough, bro. The brand isn't big enough. That's what it is.
I'll be honest too. Listen, I'll bring this back to the transfer window too. Like, I'll be honest too.
We're gonna wrap in like 5 minutes. Sorry.
Part of me, obviously, I'm not very content with how. I'm okay with how Chelsea's window went because at the end of the day, my bare minimum expectation was I need a center back and I need no Garnacho. That was a W. No Garnacho. And then there was the get me a center back and get me a midfielder. We recalled a center back in Trevor Chalobah. Wasn't my first choice. It's whatever, I guess it works. And then we got a midfielder in what's his name? Matis Amagu.
Stop. We got an 18-year-old. We trafficked another kid. Stop.
Well, that's the thing. Like,
he's actually pretty good.
Thank you, Steve. I was gonna say I don't know about this midfielder, but last season, if I recall pretty well, we were all hyped up about Leslie Ugochukwu and Santos and saying, "Oh, it's kind of upsetting." And Cassidy, and they were 19. I'm not at the end of the day, like. Maybe I suffer this illness of being realistic when it comes to Chelsea and their signings. But like, I'm not. If I were the player, and if I was trying to sign a player for Chelsea, I'm probably not going to sign to this idea that I'm going to be a backup to Caicedo, Enzo, and Lavia when he comes back. So like a 19-year-old seems reasonable. He's going to cooperate. He's going to understand, like, I'm not the best player on the team. I know I'm going to get chump change minutes here and there. I know I'm a backup, so it is what it is. And then you loan him out next season. Santos gets integrated, or Leslie Uchu will get integrated next season, and then we work from there. But like, this whole like crashing out over it. At the end of the day, you look at Chelsea's situation and how we don't have the nice, elegant stadium where we make profit. RSM, you saw the profits we made last season. They weren't great. Like we lost a chunk of money, and it doesn't help that we're not in Champions League. Like that's a big chunk of money that we just said, right? We don't have a sponsor because we're not in Europe and we're not in Champions League. That hurts us. So at the end of the day, I'm looking at Chelsea fans. I'm saying like, are you going to donate to the funds? Because I don't see where the money is exactly. We kind of have to recruit this way.
People talking about donate to the funds, and it's like at some point, like we speak about maybe the match going fans, but people people are like, sorry, because people are like, oh, the match going fans, they should organize a protest. They should do something, etc., etc. Let me show you a picture of what the match going.
Bro, these guys stand on no business. All they do is talk on Twitter and don't think they touch grass. They like to pretend they touch grass.
This is
what grass feels like? It's wet.
These are the people. By the way, these are the people who are telling me I'm not a real fan. Right? This is what they do, bro. This is what they do. You see this? This is Enzo. He's taking the short off. Right? He gives it to the guy, and the dude sniffs it. He's digging in Enzo's used shorts, bro. This is the fan base. Me and Marshall.
I saw this earlier, man. I could not believe what I was seeing.
This is literally the fan base we're dealing with. Look, fresh off Enzo, he's digging in it.
Bro.
He sniffed.
This is worse than Kovacic running on the pitch half naked.
This is bad. This is bad. And this is my point. Is like this is the fan base we need to deal with. Like end of the transfer window, I think we've all collectively lost our mind. Like this is where we're at.
I've crashed out so many times for this fan base. I also am not happy with my directors. I feel like it was a lot of negligence and a lot of mishaps along the way. We should have had a striker, and now we're looking again. Like you guys all know, all of us know, it's hard to do business in January. Most clubs don't want to sell in January.
I mean,
2 seasons ago, if you were Chelsea, it wasn't hard.
I thought Jackson was the truth.
Exactly.
What happened to Jackson being the truth, not being the truth?
Jackson needs a backup. And I've said this from day one.
If Jackson is the truth, I'm lying for the rest of my life, bro. On God, I'm telling you right now.
No. The amount. Okay, look, me and Marshall have been working together for almost a year and a half now. This guy literally the prop, and then you're going out here begging for strikers.
No. He's good. Don't get me wrong. He's a good striker. But I've said from day one, from the moment he came through the door, I was saying, okay, cool. He's the backup striker. When's the number one?
Were a lot of people in your fan base saying like Joao Felix was the answer or Nkunku was the answer?
People are still crying for habits.
Yeah,
what do you want,
they
bro?
were. No. Yeah, they were.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Wow day.
No, people.
No, but not for the striker position. Not for the nine. Not for the nine.
No. But like at the end of the day too, it's like every time you put out an option, Kolomoani on a loan, not even an obligation, just a loan. No, he's shit.
No, he's shit. Like, I'm good.
I mean, that's what I mean. But at the same time, like right now, I feel like the solution for our striker woes is you got to bench the striker and take some time off of the limelight and hope that you come back and earn your way back to the first team and do as good as you were doing in the beginning of the season. Because let's not lie, Jackson was one of the best strikers in the beginning of the season. And last 8 games, he's not been good.
10.
So usually what you do in those situations, and this is usually what Steve can vouch for this. What happened when Isak wasn't doing good? You maybe had a Callum Wilson if he was fit. When Callum Wilson was unfit, you had an Isak. Like you can interchange strikers. Like they're both decent options. They're both solid options. Now Isak is clearly the number one, but like we don't have that at Chelsea. And
what's a decent striker look like? I forgot.
Well, at this point,
his name is Darwin Núñez, and
you're out here talking about decent strikers. I don't know what that is.
A 9?
Yeah. I just don't.
I haven't seen the number 9 at Chelsea.
Bro,
we can't count to 9 at the Emirates.
Is there like an actual good, completely well-rounded 9 in the Premier League performing on a consistent week-to-week basis?
No, Isak's too injury prone to be well-rounded.
Stayed fit this year though.
So far, he's been
He
staying
has.
fit.
Steve, I'll give you
He's
that.
a baller,
he's
man.
good.
Like I
They've
rate
been
him
good.
so highly. He's a baller.
Yeah,
Chris
he's
I
a
would
baller.
Again,
I would
health
take
as
him
well.
with his injury record.
Health as
Yeah,
well.
Isak can. I mean, we did the same thing with Neto. Everybody's like, we don't want to touch him because he's injured. We're like,
But
bro, we'll
even
take him.
so, you can
Yeah.
only name one. Even so, y'all all named the same single one. I think that the whole world. I think that the whole world is in a
Wood has been
drought
good.
of
No,
well-rounded
Mike,
number
there's no
9.
drought. There's no drought. Trust me. I'm promising.
No.
I watch enough football to tell you there's not a drought.
No, it's
I mean,
because
you're just saying. So
Steve,
you're
Steve,
just
you have
saying
to,
we're
you have to
looking at the
remember.
wrong
You have to
pond.
remember. Mike
So I'm just
is
looking at the wrong
living
pond.
in Cali, bro. This is why drought is on his mind. You got to be,
Yeah.
you know.
Whoa,
Bro,
it's a little too soon to
it's
be
a
talking
little
about
too
the shots in
soon.
California.
You're a little
Okay?
That-
All right,
that
not
was
to
really,
mention.
oh, my bad.
It's a little too soon.
TJ's
And
getting
also,
ready.
we just had
Yeah.
we just had rain that caused landslides, so we're getting double fucked now.
Fuck.
Hey, double fisted. We love to hear it.
And on that note, we're gonna go ahead and wrap up.
But TJ, very quickly, can I just say something before we wrap up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Final point.
So,
Final
because-
point. Don't make me
Final
cut you
point.
off.
Because you
Final
guys,
point.
we talked about the Premier League, so let me just say one quick thing quickly about my club, and then we wrap this up, right? Because I haven't said anything about my club. My club didn't actually sign anyone. I'm not surprised. Thank God we didn't sign Rashford because he was being linked. I was actually getting worried that he might actually join my club, but thankfully we didn't. So,
Hey. Addition by subtraction. He went mute. Is he? Can I not hear him anymore?
No, I can't hear him either.
Yeah.
Oh,
Are
is
you
that
there,
me?
Mark? There you
Oh,
go.
there
Now
he
you're
is.
back. You're back.
okay. Yeah. I don't know. I keep seeing the jail thing. I'm like, yo, am I getting jailed? Who's jailing me? Well, anyway, I was just
Testing
saying
it out.
that-
I'm
I was
testing
just
it out.
saying that, yeah, basically, I'm just glad we didn't sign Rashford. And listen, at the end of the day, my La Liga's president is trying so hard to basically get us to lose Danny Olmo for the rest of the season. I don't know what his vendetta is, but yeah, listen, at the end of the day, I'm not really surprised when it comes to the January transfer window. Let's be real; it's very hard to have an active transfer window in January. Like,
Bro,
it's
that's
very
what I'm
rare.
saying. That's why people need to stop crashing out.
Is it?
No, it's true. It's true. It's very
No,
rare.
but
for
like,
us to see active
Steve,
transfer
come on. Let's be genuine. Compared to summer transfer windows, January is usually really dull.
Yeah, but
Usually, no.
Like
no,
it's
no,
like
Marshall,
watching softcore
Marshall,
sex. Like, come on.
Marshall, we're a
usually
Chelsea Football
January-
Club.
January
Take
is
that
when
back.
Players who
Bro,
are unsettled.
We didn't do anything
Marshall,
last year either.
I'm messing.
Marshall, usually January is usually reserved for like players who are either already like have their minds on leaving the clubs that they're in.
Yeah.
Basically move and stuff. But
Or
usually,
covering
January-
for injuries, really. You're not building a squad in January unless you're
No.
Chelsea 2 years ago.
Two teams in Europe have brought in 10 players. Saturday and Como.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Strasbourg had a good window. So
They
big up
did.
Strasbourg.
Big up
Hopefully they make
Strasbourg every
Europe.
time.
Big up Blue Co.
Yep.
Best
All right,
ownership
guys,
ever.
we're gonna go ahead and wrap up. This
Someone
has
clip
been
that.
an American Idiot, American Waffle. We're never doing this again. No, American Idiots, American Waffle crossover. American Waffle will be back on this channel in a week, 2 weeks. Just keep your eye out. I have the jail video all ready to go. Obviously, I was testing it
What do you
out.
mean what's wrong with softcore?
So yeah, what's wrong with? Okay, you know what? I'm not even
On that
engaging
note.
on that. Everybody's channel links will be in the description. I will
Big
update
up,
that
big up.
immediately after this video. Big up. Go subscribe to Casually SC. Go subscribe to RSN TV. Go subscribe to Omar B YouTube. Go subscribe to Strasbourg Steve Legend. And of course, subscribe to TJ Warren TV. We are literally one sub off of 1.5K. So just get me there. So I stop.
Let's
Come on,
get
guys,
there.
let's go. Let's do
So
it
just
before-
give me there.
Let's do it in the next 10 minutes.
Get me there so I can
Which
stop
one of
fucking begging.
which one of you
please.
guys in the panel haven't subscribed?
Yeah,
Which one of you?
fucking RSM. I know it's RSM. No,
Subscribe on the burner, bro. I'll subscribe on the burner.
Yeah. I will as well.
Yep.
Actually,
All right,
I
guys.
may be able to subscribe on the
And
burner.
we will end this like we end every show
Oh,
here
no.
on TJ Warren TV. Later.
You don't have the answers.
Do you have the answer?
You don't have the answer.
Tony, do you have the
You
answer?
don't have the answer.
You don't have the answer either.